What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe? How we doing, guys? How we doing today? It's another fabulous day on the holotables, isn't it just? What's going on, Sopper, Alex, Nightfox, Murgy? How we doing? He did indeed get Bomando, Alex. He did indeed. I don't think he's got it fully reliced out yet, but he's got her. Yeah, baby, he's got her. How we doing today, guys? Are we good? So I have a slight conundrum. I apologize that the stream is late, by the way. We're nearly an hour late. But I've been in Discord chatting with a representative from Beacon Mic, who does this microphone, trying to figure out why my mic keeps cutting out. We think we've solved it. So hopefully today, fingers crossed, there'll be no issues. But maybe there will be, who knows? Maybe there will be, who knows? We're going to figure that out. So, fingers crossed, guys. So, a thing happened today. Make sure that you guys are getting your bonus shards of Padawan Obi-Wan. Unfortunately, I'm only Relic 3, and I need to get him to Relic 5, you know, before the end of this event, so I can claim that last bonus tier. So, I need to get him to Relic 5 tomorrow, in the next 24 hours, basically. Or 22 hours and 42 minutes. I'm going to have one set of refreshes to get it done. And we're not going to have another assault battle. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. Hey, John, how you doing today, buddy? Dino, how are you? Emmett, how are you? $260. Shezmaster, how you doing, buddy? Are you all right? Yeah, my day's been pretty good today. Thank you so much, Rover. Rover? Rora. John. John. I'll just call you John. John is easier. Don't call me John. John's my father's name. So I'm really hoping that we got to the bottom of whatever issue is plaguing my microphone. We've ascertained that it's not a software issue. We've ascertained that much. It's your birthday, so you're having an amazing day. Happy birthday, Shez. Happy birthday, buddy. Proud of you. I'm happy that it's your birthday. Everybody in chat want to wish happy birthday to Chez? Nightfox. Nightfox. Resubbing. What is wrong with me? Why, because you've been subbed for 28 months? It's a long-ass time, brother. It's a long-ass time. But thank you, Nightfox. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. Alright, we're going to do this, so his reinforcement is just going to go bye-bye straight away. It's going to reinforce, and it's just going to go blap. And I will laugh, and he will cry. I will win, and he will die. Bye. Doesn't it make you feel good? Boston makes me feel good. Sorry, did I get carried away there? Hey, Isaac, how you doing? Albea, how you doing? Let's heal up. Why'd you leave the keys upon the table? Because you wanted to. Oh, look, he had heal immunity. That's unfortunate. Well. Legion resubbing as well. 19 months for Legion. Thank you so much, 19-month Legion. 19-month Legion. Thank you so much. He got a reinforcement out. What a big dunderhead. Nobody likes it when they get reinforcements out. I'll just take away his capital. How dost thou like them apples? Let's hit this on auto. We're going to hit it on auto, baby. Ooh. Pew, 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 pew. Gonna use that special, apparently, and almost crash the game. Hey, Sathy, how you doing today? You okay, Sathy? Are you okay, Sathy? You been hit by, you been struck by a smooth Sathiness. Or something like that. You're not a criminal, Sathy. You're a human being with feelings and emotions. So I've been farming Conquest signal data, guys. What have you guys been doing? I've reached Sector 5 and I'm not touching it because I'm farming Sector 4. Because I want to get me some level 9 crons. Want to get me some level 9 crons. I have completed that... Oh, that's Sector 3. I haven't completed Sector 3. Sector 4 is where I'm at. I just... do 3 sims. Boop. That's not quite enough. Not quite enough. Maybe tomorrow. A smooth-headed criminal? That'll be me. Amy, how you doing today? You've been hit by a smooth, bold criminal. Not quite the same beat to it. So, I need to do the unlock mission for Mandalore, first and foremost, guys. So, I'm probably going to remod for that, just in case. We need to see what's what, you know what I mean? We need to know what is what, and they don't know what is what. They just strut. What the fudge? So we're going to do this as a team, together. And hopefully, everything will be great. Everything will be wonderful, beautiful and bright. The sun will be shining upon us. And, I don't know, good stuff might happen. Good stuff might happen. Boom, ba-doom, doo-doo. I feel like I need these things. I also feel like I will need more data cache. Get me the data cache. I also feel like I'm going to need more reroll materials as well. Good. Got to Sector 4 on feet break till Gak locking. Makes sense, Zymergy. Head start on crons ready for next week? Exactly. Exactly. Sector 4 is the best for Mark 3. Sector 3 is better for Mark 2. Very briefly. After we've done TB Amy. So I'm just going to do the unlock mission for Mandalore. So this one has slightly lower. So Sector 3 can give you 5 to 20, I think, on the Mark 2s. But this is better. The 5 to 15 for the Mark 3s. Sector 4 is the best for that. But I believe Sector 3 gives you 5 to 20 on the Mark 2s. And the Mark 2s... Yeah, 5 to 20. This is actually the biggest bottleneck for Datacrons. Outside of data cache in general, Mark 2s are the most bottlenecked in my experience. It was called Duck Paradox. Duck Paradox. That's interesting. Alright, so I'm going to go over to Hot Utils, and we're going to create a mod setup. Now, I don't know what people have been recommending for the Mandalore unlock mission. So you and I, we're going to have to go through this together, guys. We're going to have to go through this together. So I'm going to run Bowmando with IG-12. So Bowmando, bam, IG-12. And I'm going to do a remod for it, because I want to. I'm one of those guys that does not mind remodding. So Bowmando, yes. Bam, and IG-12. I know a lot of people have been doing Paz, but I used Paz on my unlock mission, and Bam died before I got a turn. And I lost, so I'm not going to use Paz this time. I'm going to use Grogu this time. Alright. So, I have a feeling that we want a mix of speed, survivability, and damage. So I'm still going to have good speed. I'm going to go 30 and 30. Yeah, it did straight... Well, because... My Bam literally died before he got to take a turn. He just, like, got 2-tapped. Just went boop, boop, Bam was dead. I was like, no whistling birds, no child's protection thingy, nothing. I was like, okay, well, that's fun. Just go offense, offense, speed. guess that doesn't matter. If you're using hot utils to remod, I would argue that you do mind remodding. No, I don't, because I'm using hot utils to remod. That's just a paradox, buddy. That's just a paradox. All right. So, because my BAM did actually die, I actually want this guy... I want this guy, like... I'll go speed set, and I suppose we could go defense set. But I'm gonna want a lot of health on him, as well as offense. Where's my physical damage? There it is. Hot util should be in the game, to be honest. Yeah. Hey, Castro, I'm doing good, mate. That's like saying, you know, like, oh, you know, you must hate counting your money because you use a calculator. I'm like, no, it's just quicker, more efficient, and more reliable than going in and doing it manually and counting it by hand, writing it down in a ledger. I've got a banking app. I use it. You know what I mean? So who's this again? This is Beskar Armamando. Okay, cool. Yes, you would be Sensuna. Hey, Aletha. How you doing? See, it would be nice to have offense. Offense. It would be nice to have offense, but I feel like I should be having extra bulk. And IG-12 and Grogu. I shouldn't actually really need to remod this guy. If we just have him, you know. Health sets. Health. You should be fine. Let's see what this kicks out. So 301 speed. We've gone up 20k in health, or about 20k in health. Down a bit in prot, but that's fine because she's very health focused. Offense probably... Oh, offense has gone up a bit. Okay. Fine with her. He's gone up quite a big amount in health, dropped a bit in prot. So maybe we should actually have a prot primary up there. He's dropped massively in offense, but I'm not sure if that matters. Truth be told. Kind of tempting to swap him out for offense sets, because that's a big drop-off in offense. Let's change that out. Let's go to offense set. IG-12 and Grogu then. Big jump in health. And speed has dropped a little bit. I'm okay with it. So, BAM over here now. More health, a little bit less protection, but more overall. Decent enough offense, decent enough speed. Okay, happy with that. So, this will be the Mandalore unlock. BKM, BAM, IG-12. Hey, Faithon, how you doing? 29 out of 30 for Zepho. Maddening. Oh, June, mate. That's brutal, dude. That's brutal, mate. Hey, Sarge. How you doing today, buddy? IG-12 is Grogu, buddy. IG-12 and Grogu. It's the droid. In the game, he's called IG-12 and Grogu, alright? I don't know why they call it IG-12 and Grogu, because IG-12 has 0 autonomy. Sure looks like Grogu. Optimus Prime. That's who it is. Autobots, roll out. I'm not going to argue with somebody about semantics online. Did we push that to the game? I thought we did. Let's try that. All right, let's go over here. Boom. Do 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 do. All right. Let's just double check, make sure that hot utils. Yep, okay, that's loaded in. Let's give this a try then. Did me attenuate no, Asajj, no. Not the full release. Krang is also an acceptable name. Krang? Do I have a usual streaming time or schedule? Or somewhere I could find it? This is the usual time in Big Texas? I mean, the only thing that I would say that is different is Friday nights. My Friday night stream is more geared towards people that live in the States. So that for me is a later stream. It would normally start at about, what? Midnight my time, which is BST at the moment. And it goes till usually about 3 or 4 in the morning. So usually my streams last 3 or 4 hours. But every other day of the week, it starts around 7:30, 8 o'clock BST. Or whatever time it is in the UK, GMT or BST. All right, let's do this. No, if you filled it out yesterday, you don't fill it out again. I saved it over. All right. So, now that's the Grand Inquisitor one. Okay, complete the special mission. I find it crazy that we can use Maul for this, but that's fine. So we're using IG-12 and Grogu. Let's just double check. Bo-Katan Mandalore has got stats. 301 speed. Pretty chunky. Decent offense. Over here, IG-12 and Grogu. Decent speed. Load of health. What's missing over here? Oh, it's an Omni. That's fine. I'm going to put that on. And then, bam. Relatively chunky. Relatively fast. Decent enough offense. Could be better. All right. Let's go over full screen, I think. And we should probably see... how it goes. We have a single time zone. It's called Zulu time zone. We should really, as a society, switch to one time zone, since time is a construct. Lunchtime, doubly so. Alright, let's go for this. I would love to get rid of daylight savings time, to be honest, TSN. At least we get to reuse some of the assets that they used for the Krayt Dragon raid, I guess, so it's not a waste. Alright, here we go. He throws up on me. I feel like I should immediately cleanse. And then just go all in on the big boy. Go down into Whistling Birds. He ate IG-12 and Grogu. Spit him out. Thank you. Whistling Birds, go, go, go. Nice. Let's get some more armor shred. Actually, you can't get armor shredded. Oh, yes, you can. You can get armor shredded. Ignore me. I thought it converted, but this seems very comfortable so far. Protect IG-12. Mass assist. It's looking good. Jobs are good. Easy. We did it. We nailed it. Nice and easy there. Nice and easy there. Didn't feel like we were ever in any sort of danger. So, I could see a scenario where that could go a little bit wrong. Where Bam goes into Whistling Birds, and then the Krayt Dragon eats Bo-Katan. Maybe. Maybe that could be bad? No, probably not. We'd just get it in with IG and shoot the cannons. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Well, I'm happy about that. Let's go ahead and reapply our standard modding then. Well. Loadouts. Get a load out of me. That sounds vaguely sexual. Only vaguely sexual. You'd eat Bo-Katan? Yeah, you would, Sethy. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Don't you want to be the cat? Yeah. Because the... Oh, yeah. I had to take Smudgy to the vets today, guys. You spent more time on the mods than the mission? Felt like Romjo, yeah. But now I never have to spend time on the mods because I can just apply that loadout. And I'll be like, Dunzos. So, yeah. Smudge is fine. So, Smudge has got some cat acne on his chin. And it was very red. It looked like he'd scratched it with his paw and had cut the scab, and it looked like it was inflamed, you know, looked really quite sore. So I had to take him to the vets. And Smudge does not like going in his carrier. He hates it, okay? So I had him in his carrier for about 5 minutes before we set off, yeah? Just chilling in his carrier. He's meowing away. He's like, meow, meow. He hates it. Absolutely despises being in the carrier. So, 5 minutes, he settles down in the carrier, take him out, put him in the car. I've got him on my lap inside the carrier, right? He's inside the carrier, he's not liking life, meowing away. We're driving to the vets, which is about a 10-minute drive. And he's just meowing off, and then he pees inside of his carrier, like everywhere. Like, a lot of pee. We're like, in this car, in traffic, with him stuck inside his crate, stewing in his own piss, basically. And he is very much not happy, and he starts flicking his paws inside the crate. And, like, he's splashing me with his urine. I'm like, God damn it, Smudge. God damn it, dude. So I get to the vet with, you know, Smudge covered in his own pee in a carry case full of pee. And I'm like, I'm really sorry, but he wet the cage when we were traveling over. Nothing I could do about it. Can I clean him up? And fair play to the vets. They were like, it's absolutely fine. They took him into another room, cleaned out his carrier, cleaned him down. He wasn't very happy, and they put like a puppy mat in, you know, like a doggy mat inside to, you know, absorb some of it in case he pees in it again and stuff like that. He was really not happy at the vets. So he was crouching down inside his case, just going. Now, Smudge is not a violent cat. He is not. He never scratches. Well, I'm covered in scratches, right? But he never scratches somebody. He never goes to scratch somebody. He never goes to bite anybody in any sort of aggression. He doesn't do that. The only time he's done it is to dogs that he doesn't like. But he doesn't scratch people. So I told him, you know, don't worry about it. He's not an aggressive cat. He's okay. He'll just growl at you because he's not happy. So they took a look at it and they said, yeah, it looks like it's okay. He might have picked the scab, but it's actually healing quite nicely. It doesn't look too infected. You could just leave it out, or they can give us a cream for it, right? So I decided to take the cream just in case. So I have to give that to him twice a day on his chin. Just give him a little bit of a dab on his chin. They say just make sure that he doesn't lick it. But the other thing that the vet said, can anybody guess what they might have an issue with Smudge at this point? Your dog will itch himself raw. He's bad allergies, so you had to buy him a soft cone that looks like a donut. Oh, Dino. He had a lump in his neck that he kept scratching and ended up cutting himself from the scratches. Oh, was that Rex? Or is your mum's dog a different dog? Yeah, he's a chunky boy, guys. Smudgy's got to go on a diet. Okay, so for his age, he should be about 5 kilograms. And Smudgy is 6 kilograms. He's a heckin' chonker. No, they didn't say it was bad. They didn't say it was bad. They were saying he shouldn't, like, you should try and cut down on the food. Okay? You should try and cut down on the kitten food because He's got too much to love. So poor little Smudgy Bear now. We can't have Smudgy having the dreamies no more, guys. He has to lose some weight. Until he's lost some weight, he can't have dreamies. Indy can still destroy my hands. But, Shemai Oxlane Tiaunachan. But Smudgy's on a diet. He's on a diet. He's not happy about it. He's had a terrible day, let's be honest. He had to go to the vets. He's had some steroid cream on his chin, and he peed himself, and now he has to go on a diet. It's a hard life being Smudge, isn't it? It's a hard life being Smudge. He is the chunky fudge boy. Yeah. Mums is different. Rex is your boy. Okay, gotcha, Night Fox. Cruciate ligament tear was told he's too fat. Oh, poor dog. Thanks, folks. Yeah, so Smudgy's not a happy kitten right now. He is not a happy bear. You know, I genuinely, I told him how much we feed him, and the problem is he'll eat Indy's food, and he'll try and eat Milo's food as well. That's the problem. And any food that's on the side, he'll try and eat that. That's his, like, the amount we give him for his food is perfectly suitable for a cat. Like, we give him an appropriate amount of food, of wet food. It's the snacking that he does and the dreamies that he has that makes him chonk up. So he is now officially on a kitten diet. You know? We're going to pull one out for Smudgy Bear, because he's going to be grumpy with me now for days. He's going to be grumpy, guys. Oh, Letha, I'm sorry to hear that. Your cat is not going to appreciate... No, he's not, Darren. He's not going to like me for it. So what you're saying is he gets no more wet food, but he still gets the dreamies. I don't want it. They say he could get diabetes, and I don't want my Smudgy Bear getting diabetes. Poor little... I've got a diabetic brother. I don't need a diabetic cat as well. You should expect some pee in your shoe. Foster's? Accurate. Boom. Do, do, boom, boom. I'm really hoping that this mic doesn't drop out at all today. So we are going to be doing roster reviews today, guys. We are going to be doing roster reviews today. So yesterday in our stream, we hit a level 10 hype train, which is pretty hype. 1 second, I need to turn this fan on, because it's hot. Just like me. Ah! Huh? What's up? Is the camera not focused? Look into my eyes. Look into my eyes. What's going on? Is the camera not properly focused right now? Is it looking a bit weird at the moment? Let me check the settings. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Let's check on Camlink. It should be fine. Yeah, it's going in 1080p. Oh, hold up. Sorry. Is that better? Is it looking okay now? Because the thing is if I want to look at you guys, I can't look at my actual stream stuff. So We looking beautiful as always? We looking good? It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Love it. No, we can see you now. Turn it off. Turn on the blur feature again. I mean, yes, it's better. Good. Good. Brap. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we are going to set up for our roster reviews once again. So, let's go over here. I'm going to go ahead and get my roster review link up and running. So, y'all know the drill, okay? If you entered in... One second.
Sensuna tipped £5. Do you
That's
accept
loud as fuck.
bribes? Tell you should still have my ally code from yesterday.
Yes, I accept bribes. You may bribe me. Thank you kindly. Okay, so just going to pin the roster review sign-up form. If you signed up yesterday, you should still be in the list. That's quite all right. It's not a problem. You do not have to sign up again. In fact, I would encourage you not to sign up again because I don't like reading things twice, guys. I don't like reading things once, truth be told. I don't like signing up before. So, we did a stream yesterday. Do people keep on trying to bribe me?
The Legion tipped £5. 639, 639, 637.
Is that a coincidence that you're 639, 639, and 637? That's kind of cool. Thank you so much, by the way. So yeah, follow that form, fill it out. Even if you're donating to be on a priority roster review, still fill out the form because it will give you all the questions and everything that I need to know to give you some advice on your roster, okay? Hope that's hunky-dory. Hope that's cool. We do have a long list available already because we had like 48 plus people sign up for roster reviews yesterday and we got through about 11 or 12. So quite a lot of people in there already. Please, like I said, do not sign up twice. Easy code to remember. What if you want to roast? Ask for a roast buddy. It's as simple as that. Roasted Womp-Rat. Tastes like chicken. All right. Groovy, baby. Groovy. So I'm going to get it up for you live on stream. Something like that. Something like that. Let's go over to Google Forms. Google Forms, Google Forms, Google Forms. Over the course of a lifetime. And it feels like forever. So if you have recently signed up, I can see we've already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people sign up. One of them apparently is Smudge and he wants more Dreamies. 7 people. Make sure if you did donate as well, that you clicked yes on that priority list. Otherwise, we may well miss you. We don't want to miss you, baby. We don't want to miss you, honey. Miss it now. Miss it good. Miss it just like you should. All right. I'm just setting up here real quick, guys, and we will be good to via go-go. Okay, so what if you want to roast? Easy code to remember. Roasted Womp-Rat. IO. Just don't ask him to check out your R9J Ray/JTR. Hey, get out of here with that trash. Hey, Cammy, how you doing, honey? R9GG, get out of here with that trash. Sounds like I joined just at the right time. I'm going to get it up live on stream. Generic, that was just for you, buddy. And when you say something facetious, it's in an American accent. Well, I mean, that's how we roll. I didn't select priority because it was yesterday, but I just did. Ah, okay, Sensuna. Sensuna. Yes, yeah, I can see you up here. I can see you up here. I'm just going to change you to a yes for that. So you'll be first on the list, and I believe we've had one other donation. I think it might have been from the Legion. The Legion, and somebody called Smudge apparently wants more Dreamies and will donate with love. So, I can't give Dreamies to Smudge. I'm sorry. All right, cool. So, essentially, everybody gets 10 minutes, guys. Everybody gets 10 minutes. Does anybody have any questions before we begin? If you do, I don't really care. I'm joking, of course I care. I'll answer your questions. Is there a monetary value for love? It's priceless, Sensuna. It's priceless. Love is priceless. But the thing about priceless items is I can't buy anything with pricelessness. How are my Night Sisters doing? Not bad. Where are you on the list? Amy, let me find you. Let me find you. You are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th in the list. 5th in the list, and we have 2 premium roster views before that, so technically 7th, okay? Technically 7th. Rough choice, but I'm going to have to suggest Hot. Hot, but definitely a second option. What? Heal over time? Gungans are a pain to farm. They're okay. You should make the Google Sheet viewable on the Discord so people can see where they are on the list. I would have to make it view only, yes. Joseph, where are you on the list? Like very far down. But don't forget, a lot of people signed up yesterday, and they might not be in the chat today. So we're going to get things going here. We're going to get things going just so that we can actually get cracking, okay? Because lots of roster reviews to get through. I want to try and make sure that people actually get this done, okay? Exactly, Big Texas. I won't do it on this stream today, but I will get it done potentially for the next stream, okay? So roster reviews are in fact open. So in the bottom right corner over there, you can see that roster reviews are open. Actually, maybe let's actually just go over to this one. We'll go over to this one. Roster reviews are open. If you can see that green light on there, I will be open to that sort of noise. Okay? Minimum £5 donation. Thank you kindly. All right, cool. So everybody gets 10 minutes, and we are starting off with Sensuna. Sensuna. Sooner or later, we are going to look at rosters. So let's quickly poke in the ally code. Hey, Dino, we're doing good today, buddy. How are you doing today? All right, so to begin with Sensuna. Let's start the clock. Sensuna says, started as just randomly going things before focusing about 9 months ago. Be kind. General advice and direction. That's absolutely fine, Sensuna. So, you are 4.7. I'm going to call you 4.7 mil. I hope you don't take offense, even though you're 4.694. I'm going to call you 4.7 mil. And you started about, what do you say, 9 months ago? All right. This is fine. So, got a trash roster. I'm joking, dude. Hakuna Yatadas. All right, cool. So 4.7 mil. We're rocking a Ray. Not sure if this is a Lightspeed bundle jobby. We also have Starkiller, probably a Lightspeed bundle, 9 months, 4.5 mil. Sounds like a little bit of light whaling has been taken. You know, CG, thanks you for your service. Ray, perfectly good GL to start off with. Let's check it out. I like that you've gone for your Zori Bliss. You've got the double Zeta there. Obviously, she needs a little bit of gear loving, and she needs 2 more stars. I'm going to assume that you're Cantina farming Zori right now to try and get her up into relics. I love to see that you got this Finn Zeta as well. That means as soon as this skill gets all the way up there, you can drop her into that Finn team. Well, you can probably drop her in right now, truth be told, and get some good use out of her. Once she's in relics, I do advise you get that Omicron on there. It's probably good to get it on before, truth be told. But keep that in the back of your mind. It's a very solid Omicron, okay? That was me. Just tipped Amy £5. Oh, Essex, you're so nice. There we go. Amy, you get to have the next review because Essex is a kind individual. Essex, thank you, buddy. You're so kind. Okay, so yeah. First things first, I'd probably recommend you get that Zori up if you're not already working on it. It looks like you are. It looks like you are. So you say we started focusing. I love that you've got executive. Look at you, buddy. Look at you, buddy. You say be kind. Be kind. You've got yourself a GL and you've got yourself a good capital ship. You're doing good. You're doing the right stuff here, man. So don't be too harsh on yourself. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Hey, Art. How you doing today, buddy? All right. Cool. So what are you actually farming at the moment? I want to know what you're working on right now, because that's going to inform what sort of advice I give you. Because I can see, obviously, you've got that Executor up, which means you're going to have a little bit of crossover with C. I can see Crew and Kylo Ren, so it makes me feel like you're getting slacker. This makes me feel like you're getting slacker, right? Scribble fans are so generous. They are naughty, aren't they? They are not, E? They are. They're very generous. They're very lovely. Finishing CLS and then Imperial Troopers. Okay. But you've got a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren pack here. And finalize it. Gotcha. Oh, Dino gifting a tier 1 sub to Naughty. You're a kind individual. That's one step closer to our R9 Merin. We got a lot of progress done on that yesterday. So, yeah, Sensuna. Are you not going for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren because you need the finalizer at 5 stars? Or is it just a case of you're not going... Yeah, I don't see finalizer here at all, actually. Is that what's holding you back at the moment for Slacker's Farm, is you don't have the capital ship? If that's the case, absolutely fine. You know, just keep working on it. As soon as you actually have that available, I would highly, 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 highly recommend you just get your Slacker unlocked, because you are 99% of the way there. You know what I mean? You have everything else but finalizer. Gotcha. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Alrighty, this is, yeah, this is fine. Okay, so... You say you're working on CLS and Imperial Troopers. I assume you're working on Imperial Troopers because you went down the path of Executor and you have to get yourself an Admiral Piet. That's totally fine. What I would
Oxlane tipped £5.
Thank you, Oxlane. Noswitha. Noswitha, Oxlane. T-shirt roster view? Nah. Okay, so... General Veers over here and Stark both feed into the Sea Farm. Another galactic legend for you there. Obviously, that's not a full team. If you are working on Imperial Troopers, do recommend Piet, Veers, Stark, Dark Trooper, and Range Trooper. The only reason I'm recommending Stark is because he feeds into the Sea Farm. Realistically speaking, he's okay, but usually gets siphoned off maybe into an Iden Versio team down the line. That's not a bad thing, though, okay? I have everything else but the finalizer. Don't need the review. Appreciate it's nothing. Means no ads for a month. If nothing... Yeah, exactly.
And the Geos just go... Fuck you, motherfucker! And then you die. And the Geos just go...
Wolfie with the 100 biddies. You'd like a whole roster review in Welsh. I could just make words up and you'd have to go along with it. You know? And nobody would be any the wiser. Nobody would be any the wiser unless I had some Welsh-speaking people in the chat. So, yeah, as far as Imperial Troopers go, I wouldn't go too crazy. I would actually do the ones that bleed over into the Sea Farm, which is why I was recommending Veers and Stark. You'll always want to have Veers anyway. Colonel Stark is just an R3 requirement for C. So, if you are going to do that and you are going to do CLS, I generally speaking, for newer accounts, and I would call a 9-month-old account relatively new, I don't tend to recommend pushing too heavy into the CLS team, just because it is incredibly Zeta heavy. So, like, you got 3 on CLS and 1 on Chewbacca, 1 on Han Solo. Not got 1 on C-3PO, that's okay, and you're missing 1 on 3PO and Chewie. That's a lot of Zetas that could have gone to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren when you unlock him relatively soon, you know, and the rest of the First Order team that need their Zetas as well. It's still a phenomenal team. Still a very, very good team. But not something I would typically recommend too early on. They need to be really long words, I know that much. Short of Ord, can we get you to reciprocate in Finnish? Ooh. Yeah, Wolfie. I heard that the Welsh and Irish people who didn't learn how to swim... I heard that Welsh are Irish people who didn't learn how to swim. Well, to escape the English. Yeah, I guess so. Like a dad losing at Scrabble. I know. Good bit is, I understand Welsh. I just can't speak it for love nor money. That's fair, Womprap. That's fair. Okay, cool. So, thank you so much, Kitty Cat. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I love to see that your Captain Rex is already up and running as well, so you've actually got a functionable Phoenix team here. This is impressive to see at a low GP bracket. I know that this looks very much like a Phoenix Lightspeed bundle, but that takes nothing away from it. You've even got the Hera Syndulla Omicron. Get you. Neither can the Welsh. We can all speak... Well, no, we can't all. About 40% of the population speak Welsh. So, yeah, good job on the Phoenix team. With Captain Rex, they're actually really good. And once the Doubt Datacron... Oh, no, hang on. It's disappeared now. There's no more Doubt Datacron, right? Doubt Datacron's disappeared now. Phoenix might have their time in the sun again for a bit. That's going to be amazing. Next week, I'm back in Wales for a day. Good stuff, Womprap. Where are you heading off to? So, I like the fact that you got Phoenix. That's also going to pay off into fleets, all right? So for you, I see the way you do. If you want to finish off your CLS, I know you're missing a Zeta over on there on your 2PO. You could put one on C3PO, probably not a massive importance. Wouldn't take them too high in relics. Imperial Troopers, we've already gone over it. General Veers, Colonel Stark. Get Range Trooper and Dark Trooper. That will round out your team. Think about then, where are you with Slacker? How close are you to getting C? Finish off, get the Slacker, get C. Boom, all of a sudden, you've got 3 GLs in your pocket. You've got a really good defensive one, a really good mixture of offense and defense, and an offense-only GL. You've also got Executor. That's when you should start thinking about, how do I push for my next fleet? Okay? Am I making sense? Am I making sense to you guys? Cardiff to see the family again. You're coming around my neck of the woods, Womprat. Goddamn, dude. Goddamn. Coming around my neck of the woods. Should go for a pint. Unless you don't drink, I guess. Then we could go for a Welsh cake. I don't know. Send sooner. Sound off if I've made any sense to you there, buddy. I'm just going to make sure that I'm still pulling through all chats because I think YouTube's gone a bit quiet. Oh, no, there you are. I have a team wanting to recruit me, but a guild, but they want you to focus on Inquisitors. They feel gross to me, though, and I'm not sure I want to commit to that or something else. Okay, that's a very, very good... I know you're not asking me a question here. That's a very interesting proposition, okay? So there is value in Inquisitors. There's quite a deep value to Inquisitors, in fact. The biggest problem with Inquisitors is there is a long tail end for the payoff, right? The value of Inquisitors comes with unlocking Reaver, for the most part. I'd say about 70% of the benefit from going for Inquisitors is you get Reaver. The other 30% probably lies in the fact that you actually build out the Empire Chimera fleet, which is a very, very good fleet. You know, you get the Scythe, you get the Interceptor, you go in with, you know, your Chimera, your TIE Fighter, your Taxi, reinforced with the TIE Defender. Booyah, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. You've got a really powerful offensive fleet. Really, really powerful fleet. You can beat Leviathan and stuff like that, right? That's great. Reaver is great. However, the time it takes to get there is very, very long and winding because you need to get R7 Inquisitors, essentially, right? Because you need R5 to unlock GI, then you need to take them to R7, and then you need to spend months and months in TB unlocking Reaver. This really depends on how many shards of Reaver your guild gets each TB. But seeing as though they're asking you to do it, I assume they're not getting like 40 shards a TB. And even if they were getting 40 shards a TB, that's still a bit of a lead time. And they're very, very Cairo heavy. So it is a big cost, but it's not a bad thing, and you're going to have to do it at some point anyway. I'll leave the choice for you, Sensuna. There's plenty of other things that you can gear up in the meantime, but bigger guilds, bigger rewards. And it's up to you if you think moving to that guild is worth that extra farm. It's a very, very good team. Reaver is a really phenomenal team. Congrats, Bezad. Congrats. Any last questions, Sensuna? And yes, he does look like a sweaty hobo, Bezad. He does. One weekend in October, November, we're going out for a beer or 7 and a Welsh cake. Oh, sick. I can't wait. Yeah. Yeah, hit me up, buddy. I do drink. The issue is my sister's picking me up at the station and she's a spoil sport. She's like, there's no drinking for you, good sir. That's fair enough, Womprat. Well, I hope you enjoy your time with your family, buddy. Guessing no, we don't, Dino. Sorry, buddy. ¿Qué tal, San Rafael? Is it worth it for me to focus into the Penta farm with where I am? Penta farm? Penta farm. What's the Penta farm? Pentagon? You're going to the Pentagon? Are you a wanted enemy of the state? I'm not sure what the Penta farm is. I'm sorry. It'll probably make sense when you say it. Your birthday treat from Mum? She can pay for a weekend in Wales since she offered last year, but work got in the way. Damn work. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis eats Cairo's up to. Everything these days does, right? Every new farm is going to be Cairo heavy, unfortunately. You do, Amy, yes. 5-point farm of overlapping characters. JML, Profundo, Executor, and Jabba. Okay. Yes, it's always worth doing that. Always, 100%. But I wouldn't say it's worth you dipping into it immediately. I mean, there's always value in it. It's just opportunity cost, right? I've never heard that called the Penta farm. Who calls it a Penta farm? 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's also 4 if you want to, but whatever. Whatever. And Leia. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yep. Currently gearing up Inquisitors. My lack of courage causes endless suffering. All right. Yes. So you can you could if you wanted to. Absolutely. My only concern is when you've done stuff like this, right? When you've got this Lightspeed bundle, it is such a waste for you to go, nah, I'm not going to focus on getting Slacker unlocked because I'm going to unlock these 5 other teams first. Finish off things that are about to be finished. Always do that. It's rules to live by. Start a farm, finish a farm. Unless you've literally just started that farm, like going ahead and trying to get things like JML and Jabba and Profundity and Layer and all that sort of stuff is great in principle, especially if you go about it in the right approach, the right order, because they do benefit each other. If you are going to do that, then you don't want to have wasted all of the other investment that you've already put in elsewhere. You know what I mean? If you do go for that sort of approach, then absolutely crack on, get Jabba first, and then go Profundity. The rest doesn't really matter. Like, there's no real value in going for anything else over the other one, right? You go Jabba, Profundity, JML, and then you'll be good. I'm currently gearing up... Oh yeah, I read that already. Every new character is a 400 Kyra minimum. Absolutely. Makes sense from a naming perspective. Do Slacker, grab a Datacron, laugh all the way to the bank. Not right, not wrong, Oxlane, not wrong. Thinking after Slacker. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. It's a very, very useful way of going about farming things. Like, you should always try to farm things that have overlaps. Most things at this point in the game, when it comes to GLs and capital ships, there's going to be some sort of overlap somewhere. In my opinion, it's just all about trying to make sure you prioritize the right things first. So Jabba is useful early on simply because of the benefits to modding. Profundity is very useful early on just because the benefits to Fleet Arena climbing give you more crystals, allowing you to fuel the rest of your growth in your roster. Okay? Time is indeed up. But thank you. Thank you, Sensuna. It was very interesting looking at your roster. And you should not be ashamed of your roster in the slightest. Oh, my days. Whew, baby. All right, cool. So, we are going back to the list over here. And it's going to be Amy next. Amy, you're finally getting a roster review. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Let me go over here. I did, Wolf. I did, but before we go in, I just want to show... My problem, buddy, is I can only take him to Relic 3 because Gungan stole all my Relic mounts. So I need to get him to 2 more Relic levels in the next 20 hours or so. Just to make the use out of that last tier of the event. So I'm like, I want to be able to get this. Yeah, the Kron is on the 7-star node. The Kron is here. Not on the one here. So I want that because I want Zeta materials and Zimbiddles. So I'm like, crap. I've got no signal data. Any chance while you're looking at that list, you can tell me where you're at? Yeah, Big Texas, absolutely, buddy. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, good sir. But many of those people might not be around. Okay? Oh, that's a good point. I haven't actually checked out the Datacron. I did it right before starting the stream, so I haven't checked out the stats on it. Crit damage, armor pen, offense, armor pen, offense. Oh, gosh, yes, that looks good. This, I probably want to change that out for stacking stats. Ability block, I definitely want to be changing out. So, the level 3, I want to go for the ramping stats over there. The level 6... Probably the protection disruption one. Maybe the other one. But the stats are actually pretty decent. Lots of crit damage, lots of armor penetration. That's nice. Decent spread on the stats. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. You got the right level 3 and 6 after rolls. What did you go for on the level 6, Wolf? All right. No, wrong button. 75% damage reduction over the 50% is the best level 6. It's very useful. I use it on my Padme Cron at the moment, and it's annoying. For them, not for me. Admiral Bubbles? Amy, are you Admiral Bubbles in-game? You lucky, naughty karate person, you. You also have that level 6 on Padme? Nice. Nice. It is you. Okay, good. All right, so I'm just going to see what you wrote inside the... of the form over here. You got Savage Relic today. I'm guessing that was yesterday. Going for Executor and some random stuff. Random stuff. All right. Okay, cool. Let's start the clock then. Let's start the clock. Feel free to interrupt me at any point if you have any questions or any statements to make. I love that your arena team is Phoenix. I love me some Phoenix. Congratulations on the Slacker. You want to get that ult, though. Make sure you do get that ult. Is that something that you're working on at the moment? Let me know in the chat. Let's have a look then over here on Fleet. You have got Finalizer done, obviously, and the Chimera. Probably where you should be thinking about maybe having a bit of focus at this point is trying to get something like Executor up and running. You know, we've got C, we've got Piet. You're working on Executor, aren't you? You're working on Executor as we speak. Going for Executor. Yeah, good. Good. I knew you said that somewhere. See, my brain does sometimes take on and retain information. Good. Okay, I'm glad you're getting Executor. Are you going to get C right afterwards? You've got 4 ult mats out of 10. Okay, I think it's 10 for Supreme No Karen, or is it 12? Things that you forget after a while. Okay, cool. So definitely on board with the Executor push. It's going to feed into... you know, the benefits that you've got a Slacker from the GL side of things. I don't know if you bought any bundles. Let's have a look. Did you get, like, the Ray one? Not necessarily, but you got some decent investment over here. Were you pushing for Ray at one point? Or is this just a coincidence? Is my speed on Piet good speed? It's going to be relative, I imagine. Relative to how developed the rest of your roster is, basically. So you've got a speed set and you've got a health set on him. Absolutely fine. 287... you want more speed. You want more speed. Sort of like push 350 plus on Piet if you can. Obviously, it depends on what sort of speed mods you got. Obviously, the speed primary is great and everything. 11 speed is a little bit slow. 11 speed is a little bit slow. 15, 5, and 17. Yeah, you want to try and get all these speed secondaries over 20. He's got a really high base speed, and he actually gains TM and stuff like that in certain occasions. I think it's when he counterattacks or when his allies get attacked. It's something like that. But the faster he is, the better off your Imperial Troopers are going to be. I don't know if you use him with Imperial Troopers or if you're using him in an Empire team at the moment. So potentially you could use him in an Imperial Trooper team with Veers and Piet and Dark Trooper and Stark and stuff like that. You got the Finalizer Lightspeed bundle and the Radis one. Ah, so the Radis one, that might have had some of those pilots then. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. Okay, cool. So, after you finish your Executor, it could be worth you pushing in and rounding out this Imperial Trooper team. As we said before, focus on Veers and Stark. The supports are going to be Dark Trooper and Range Trooper as well. Range Trooper is absolutely worth it. Where is he? Oh, he's there. It looks like you're already kind of gearing the right characters for that, which is phenomenal. Imperial Troopers are a very fun team to play. I enjoy them. At one point, they were probably my favorite team in the whole game, were Imperial Troopers. They've got so much damage output and TM potential. It's just a lot of the newer stuff these days seems to be a little bit more focused on stonewalling that sort of playstyle. They're very much a TM generation playstyle, and things like Gungans like to interrupt that sort of thing and throw things out the window. Still a fun team and can still beat quite a lot of things. So fun to clear out, and will feed into getting Supreme Emperor Secret Eternal Sith Empire of Emperor C. That Galactic Legend dude. You're already a bit of the way there. Let's have a look on your Sith as well, just to have a quick look-see over here. Quick look-see. The Savage is beautiful. And looks like you got Count Dooku. So it feels like you've got a little bit of a lack of direction with where you've gone. Unless you bought... Did you get one of the Night Sister bundles? Not the Night Sister bundles. One of the gas bundles? Padme bundles? Something like that. Because I think Dooku was one of them at Relic 5. Not sure. Let's check out the Separatists to confirm. I mean, yeah, this looks like Geo's potentially. And you got the Padme one, maybe? Yeah, the Padme one. Okay, cool. So that's fine, actually, because like those Lightspeed bundles obviously really, really help build out bulk in your roster, and they help almost tick off quite a lot of the requirements across the board. Because, yeah, sure, these can be used for Padme, but also Dooku is a requirement for C. So it's like, it's double dipping. Sure, you need to invest just a little bit more relic levels into him, but it's a good way of exemplifying just how powerful these Lightspeed bundles are for smaller accounts, because it just gives you instant access or part-way access to a lot of things. Puts your fingers in many pies. All right? So I don't know, did you actually push and unlock gas? Yes. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. Is that just a case of you're working on things that weren't required, like Ewoks? No, you got Ewoks, which means you probably got C-3PO. There he is. C-3PO. Good business. Quentin, yeah, sure. Get that Grievous to Relic 7. I mean, Grievous is very much worthwhile to get to Relic 7, but I'm not sure if she should be bothered doing it right now. You didn't get the Gas Lightspeed bundle, so there could be a few of the Galactic Republic things that you're missing at the moment. Yeah, okay. So it's Galactic Republic stuff that you're missing at the moment, which is fair enough. It's fair enough. That's something you can build towards should you want to, but and you've been in my channel for quite some time now, Amy, you know my general preference. My general preference is usually focused a little bit more on the top end rather than on the broadness. I'm not a guy that likes a particularly bloaty roster. I prefer people to focus on the high-end, high-value unlocks, like your GLs, like your expensive capital ships and that sort of thing, and then circling back to, you know, the meat, the fat of the roster, which is like your Jedi Revans and your Darth Revans and your CLSs and all that sort of business. They're all good things to get, but I like to prioritize the things that will help me win straight away at the very top end, and then cycle back to everything that I've missed. So with that in mind, you can push for gas. You can try and unlock Padme and, you know, build her up and beat that tier 2 and then move on to tier 4, because tier 3 is kind of a gimme to unlock gas. But then even after you unlock gas, you'll have to do all the 501st. That's another 4 or 5 characters that you've got to take to relics. In the meantime, you could have unlocked another GL, right? So something to think about. I would recommend do Executor, push into C after you've done your Imperial Troopers, and then have a think about where do you want to go with the rest of your unlocks. Do you want to start pushing for Jabba? Do you want to start pushing for Profundity? That sort of thing. Those are some of the two major pillars, I feel, for an early game, is how quickly can you get to the top of Fleet Arena, and how quickly can you get Jabba to start improving your mods. From there, everything else kind of almost doesn't matter. Well, it's not that it doesn't matter, but you can have a little bit more autonomy about how and where you want to develop. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm doing very much stream of consciousness talking right now. I still think it's valid, though. So things like General Grievous, as was said earlier, it's not that General Grievous is a bad thing. It's not at all. It's just, it's one more thing that could delay you. You know? One more thing that could delay you. I like that you got the Phasma Omicron, by the way. Phasma Omicron and Savage Omicron and TIE Fighter Pilot. Were you just like, well, I've got these armies and I've got a couple of characters, so I'm just going to throw them places? They're not bad. Like, the Phasma one's a bit outdated, and so is the TIE Pilot one, but they're still useful. They have value. Captain Rex one, in my opinion, is really, really good, and hopefully about to come back into vogue again. I'd love to use my Phoenix once more. Savage is great. He's eternally useful. You're farming GG in the ship store? Good. Do not. Amy, do not under any circumstances use your shard shop currency to buy Grievous shards. It's way too expensive. way too expensive. You want to keep that value for yourself. Keep that value for yourself in the back pocket. Use your Shard Shop currency to either be, buying bits of important gear or potentially even buying data cache and that sort of thing. Yep. You never do that? Clever. Very clever. This is the way, Amy. This is the way. I'm very proud of you. Hello, Sop. How you doing? And also, again, GG is great but for Erodium Blow, but you start seeing more Whompers, he generally becomes more offensive rather than defensive. Yeah, until you get right to the top again, and Whomper's just not going to beat GG because of the Datacron game, but it's fine. Look at your Datacrons. Ba 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 ba. Hey, not bad. Considering you're at 4 mil, you've actually got some Datacrons. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You got Finn as well, so Finn with a Finn-cron. Woohoo! I mean, I would re-roll this and re-roll this, but, you still got crons. You still got crons. Yeah, got crons. And you've got a spy cron, and I know that you've got the Geo pack, so you can actually get use out of this as well. And this one's pretty good, but it's mostly for Newt teams, right? That's still nice, though. That's actually really nice on a Geo team. Extra health and health and health. That's actually quite a nice cron for Geos. And the Stap cron, I doubt you have Stap, right? But this one over here, this level 6 completely stops Whomper from doing anything unless there's a really huge gear or relic disparity. Nice bit of health steal, good protection, health, protection, offense. Start with protection up. It's not bad. Not bad. I like Datacrons. It's fun business. Was there a lot of health steal on this one? You said check health steal. There's a bit there. And over here, yeah, this one's mostly health. But that's fine. Having health on a Geocron is really good because they share a health pool and they health equalize after every attack, right? So the more health that they've got, the better off you're going to be. Stap Kills video for the current conquest is excellent. Thumbs up. Thank you so much, Scott. Hope it helped you, buddy. Hope it helped you. I've yet to do that actually so far for my conquest run. So 60% on the second step. Not bad at all, Amy. Not bad. Health steal is a very, very valuable set. It's a very, very valuable stat, in fact. Okay, I realize we're out of time, but do you have any final questions, Amy? Any final questions about where and how to develop? That Zeta, by the way, is very valuable. Han Solo Zeta. That's a lot of level 9s. I'm 7 months in and yet to get your first level 9. Quentin, you'll get there, buddy. Don't worry. Missed the Holdo one, but I'm getting the First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter one for sure. Nice. No beer today? No beer today, San Rafael. Which Zeta do you put first on CLS? So we spoke about this earlier, not on your account, but I am a little bit hesitant at recommending anybody go heavily into a CLS team in the early game. The reason I want to dissuade people is because to get the full benefit out of a CLS team, it needs a ton of Zetas. CLS has got 3, and Chewbacca's got 2, and C-3PO's got 1, and Chewbacca's got 1, and Han Solo's got 1. It's very expensive to get a team up and running. That's not great. If you want to look at it and say, what is the most valuable Zeta to get on a CLS team, in my opinion, it binds old things. It's unique Zeta. You've got Han Solo shoot first, and I think you need to get this Loyal Friend Zeta. That's kind of like the bare bones. If you get those 3 and probably, is it the Raging Wookiee? Something like that. Chewie's Rage, that's it. Those 4, you might be able to eke by on. Maybe CLS's lead Zeta, but it just gets very expensive to Zeta up a CLS team. Because especially if you are buying Lightspeed bundles, you're going to be gaining gear far quicker than you're going to be gaining Zetas. And you might regret throwing all those Zetas on, Bam, bam. Hey, Pierre, how you doing? We're going through last night's review still. Yes, we are, buddy. Yes, we are. So thank you, Amy, and thank you, Essex, for being such a kind-hearted soul. So let's see who's next up on the list, baby. Who's next up on the list? I know we had 1 or 2 additional donations come through. Hey, Sky Swugger, thank you so much for the resub and the 12 months, buddy. Appreciate you. I'm definitely going to have to get a drink before we continue on. But we have over here Oxlane. Oxlane is our next person on the priority list right now. Oxlane, you in chat, buddy? No problem, Amy. How many people are in the list right now? In total, 52, but We've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So technically 47, and people might not be here. Oxlane, are you in the chat? Oxlane, Oxlane, Oxlane. You're here? Good business. Good business. I'm going to get you up. I'm going to get you up and erect and right on stream. And no player data could be found. Did you mistype your ally code, buddy? 129911379. Did you put in the wrong ally code, Oxlane? 226. Which part is 226? Oh, 126. So not 129, 126. Ah, crap. 126. Yeah? Okay, fine. 911379. Oxlane, there you go. We got you, buddy. If we're doing last night's list, then I re-signed up again today. No problem. No problem. You'll still be up further up at the top, but we're going through the priority list right now. This is the last one on the priority list, I believe. If anybody thinks that they should be on the priority list and they're not, please let me know. But according to my roster list over here, nobody else is on the priority list after Oxlane. Now, I'm going to take a very short break to get myself a drink because talking this quickly for this long makes a brother thirsty. So I'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned. Alrighty. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe. We are back in business. We are back in business. What's going on, Johnny? How you doing? Okay, so Oxlane finished the Lightspeed bundles. Besides Zetas, okay. Trying to tidy things up and plug holes. Looking for general advice and future thoughts for farming, along with maybe mod critique, and it's been a struggle keeping up with the pace of the Lightspeed bundles. Yeah, you're never going to outpace Lightspeed bundles. Okay. We can try our best. We can try our best. Let's start the clock. Start the clock. Let me know, Oxlane, if you have any questions or anything like that, right? So, let's take a look first and foremost. 7.3. 7.3 mil GP. Johnny, if only I could. That's not how it works. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4 GLs. Love to see it. Obviously, would like to see a little bit more on the old relic levels on JML. He very much benefits from being very high in the relics, but that's just a personal preference. I can see a missing 2 Zetas off of the GLs. Probably not the end of the world. I'm going to assume it's on basics or something. Yeah, missing the basic over here. And missing the basic over here? No. Missing press the advantage. Can't remember what that one does. Let me check that one out real quickly. Press the advantage, press the advantage, press the advantage. So, press the advantage. What does it do? Immune to stagger and can't gain daunt effects. Very important, if you ask me. This is probably more important than JML's basic, if you do get round to it. Not even to mention the Omicron mat scarcity. I know, right? So, this means if you get the Zeta on this, you can't taunt on him, which means he can't be direct focused by Jedi Knight Revan. He can't have Death Mark on him. Now, Death Mark is not exactly massively damaging to Slacker because, of course, he takes reduced he takes reduced damage from percentile health effects. So it's not like he's going to take loads of damage. But the idea is having a taunt on him means you can ignore his tanks and kill him. He's not that chunky in most scenarios. Sorry. So you want to make sure that you can't taunt him. It's very, very valuable. Did you call Jedi Knight Revan Budget Knight Revan? I don't think I did. Maybe I did. Maybe that's maybe that's my subconscious coming through. Who knows? So, first and foremost, I do think that is a valuable Zeta to get at some point. Now, you said you're trying to plug holes. I'm not sure what you mean by plugging holes, what you're working on specifically, but, you know, our go-to check is always, is Zori done? Looks like Zori is done completely, so I'm happy to see that. Good job, buddy. Good job. But do we also have the Finn Zeta? We got the Finn Zeta, so you got this team up and running. Love to see it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend at this point pushing into like a Rose Tico Omi or anything like that, even though she is a very good 5th. Is that a really useful Zeta? I never find myself needing it for a few months now. On Slacker, yes, would be the answer. It's just, I think for the most part, people aren't worried too much about it because of the way Slacker gets used, which is usually on offense, right? You're not as worried about getting marked if you're using Slacker on offense. If you put him on defense, he can get marked, killed very quickly, and then that's a dead Slacker team, right? In particular with this new Datacron set, where a lot of people I feel are going to be running Slacker on defense, I feel like not having that Zeta just makes him easier to be countered. And that's never a good thing, right? It's very specific, it's very niche, but it is, I suppose I'm speaking from a Kaiba 1 perspective, where it's like people know how to deal with stuff in a very specific way, in a very deliberate way. And having that sort of gap just opens up additional counters that you probably wouldn't want to have happen otherwise. Okay, so you got the Night Sister bundle. Love to see it. Yep. Were you able to do tier 3 with this, by the way? Were you able to do challenge tier 3 of Secrets and Shadows? Because this is a little bit less investment than I had. I think I took my Daka to R5, and I got the Mother Talzin Zeta, but I also had the old Daka Zeta, and I think I had double Zetas on Merrin. Hey, Mithroni Rodo, how you doing? Not without any Zetas. Okay. I feel like the Zetas are probably quite important for that. But it's something to know. If it's important to you, you've got the Night Sisters up there, but I imagine your Zetas are incredibly stretched thin right now with everything that you've unlocked in a short period of time. So I'm not sure if they should be your number one priority or if you should think about focusing elsewhere. Now, having the Zetas on the Night Sisters do massively improve their viability, especially for GAC areas. You'll be able to actually take down teams that they wouldn't normally take down, right? But maybe not a priority for the at the moment, Somergi. You do only use him on offense, and that's fair. Yeah. Really cool to see accounts this established. I started a few weeks back, and it's a blast when I get to try proper teams and events. Yeah, nice, Jason. You're unlocking Bane, Cat, Ben, and Padme this conquest. So, held all the mats at the moment. That makes complete sense. If you're thinking about priorities in that team, and like, I don't know if you wailed on Padawan Obi-Wan. You did! Get you wailing on Padawan Obi-Wan. Unless you got, like, a really lucky pull or something. No money, no hamburger. Words to live by. Words to live by. So, if you're thinking of priority, Bane would be your number one priority there, in my opinion. Getting Bane up there is super, super important, just because he's a one-man army, basically. Throw him in with any random old Sith and he kicks ass and takes names. I don't know if you've got his Datacron. Let's check that out real quick. Datacronulus. Datacronulus. You've got a Bane Datacron. I like it. Good. Okay. So, 5 Craig Crystals. So, Lucky Pull and Slight Whale. I had Bane as your priority order. You only spent 5,000 crystals and you got a 7-star Ben. I hate you, Oxlane. I spent 20,000 crystals and had to wait until the last day to unlock him. I hate you so much. Right, where's Meathead? Meathead, I demand a refund on all of my whaling endeavors because Oxlane beat me out to the punch with better RNG. How dare he? Congrats, dude. That's huge. Karma will get me for Qui-Gon Jinn, I'm sure. Well, yeah. It depends on how much you're trying to invest. Because Queen Amidala, I'm sure, is going to be great and everything. Once we see what Master Qui-Gon brings to the table, we'll probably get his kit reveal next week. If it's not next week, it'll be the week after. But as far as gearing priority is concerned, you can do Padawan Ben now, just to make use of his Datacron and stuff like that. You could throw him in any old Jedi team, in a JML team if you wanted to, or a Jedi Knight Revan team or whatever. But gearing Bane as a priority is probably a must. After that, kind of a toss-up between Cat and between Ben. Ben will massively improve the viability of your Rey team, whereas Cat would massively improve your viability of your Jedi Master Kenobi if you had him. Failing that, you probably have Padme at this point. Let's have a look. Do you have Padme? You've got Padme, so you can use Cat in a Padme team. You can use Cat in a Rey team as well if you really wanted to consolidate power that way. But Padme with Cat is very, very powerful. You know, adds a lot of viability, especially with the current Datacron set, even more so. It beats out Jedi Master Kenobi, for example, so that's good to know. And she does, of course, have a Kron at the moment. So up to you where you want to go with that. Bit of a toss-up on Ben and Cat. I'd like to say that Padme is probably the lowest priority for you to gear right now. And we're talking Zetas and everything at this point. Just because it's unlikely that you'll have all of the tools available in your account to make the most use out of that character, right? Whereas characters like Ben and characters like Cat and characters like Bane will easily be able to slot in and be viable straight away for you. His name is Scribe, he takes a bribe, and he's tankier than fives. Absolutely true, Josh. Absolutely true. Okay. So I think you mentioned in your questions about a bit of modding, and I just realized timing, so I'll just go through your GLs. What's up, Crazy? How you doing today, buddy? Let's take a look. Take a look. Okay, so the Rey is a little on the slow side, but she's got decent health, and the offense at Relic 7, I'd probably like to see a little bit more. Let's have a look. We've gone for an offense set, but it's all about the health right now. All about the health. I would probably give it about a 6 out of 10 for the modding here. I mean, you've got it kind of halfway there. The health is pretty decent for a Relic 7. The health is pretty decent for a Relic 7. But the speed is a little bit on the low side for my liking, and so is the physical offense. If you're running this set, like, you know, you could probably just drop the offense entirely and get 2 more health sets. Yeah, you'd not have the offense. You'd have quite a bit less offense, but you could have, you know, 20% more health. Kick this up to, you know, 230, 240,000. Might be more useful overall, just have her be nice and tanky, you know? But something for you to consider down the line, or you could try to push more into offense, get an offense primary rolling, you know? Get an offense primary rolling. That sort of thing. Sacrifice a little bit more health to have a little bit more damage. It gets easier with more relic levels, obviously. All right, so C, we'll go through your GLs very quickly on modding. 180k at relic 7 is perfectly fine. Just below 190. The speed doesn't really matter on C, I'll be honest. Obviously, you want a bit so he's not dirt slow, but you'll be fine on your C. JML. JML is an interesting one, truth be told, because he obviously does damage based on his protection, but until he gets to relic 9, that damage is actually a little bit mediocre, unless you've got a really good Datacron to pump it up, you know? So you can actually change him up and have him to be, like, offense or speed based. I'd say overall his speed, again, could be a little bit higher. Your protection's fine for relic 7, though. You could have some potency on him. Not massively important. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, how are we running him? We're going for speed and health. In the current setup, this is actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. You know, at relic 7, you're just below 11k on the offense, but you still got 540 speed. You got a decent amount of health. This is an okay setup. I don't mind this at all. Rey is your fastest toon. Congrats, Darren. Congrats. I think Slacker is my current fastest toon. He's like 583 or something. Maybe Lord Vader's faster. I'm not sure. Okay. Good stuff. Oxlane, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Any questions, buddy? Nice, Crazy. Crazy with the 600 speed Rey. That is a lot of speed on Rey. I guess the next target, a GL character or a fleet. Whoops, I accidentally clicked the button. Okay, let's have a quick look-see. I believe you are 126. Oh god, that's really annoying. I have to get the thing up again now. What was it? What was it? 126 911379. So, quick check. With 4 GLs, do you have any capital ships? I would probably consider pushing for Profundity or for Sith the Leviathan, depending on where your roster is at, basically. Yeah, you could go for either. If you're quite close to being done with the Proving Grounds ships, you could probably push for Sith Empire. You know, go for Leviathan. I would definitely go for a ship over a GL at this point. If you are to go for a GL, you go for Jabba. Are those pretzels any good? They're delicious, Vash. Thank you. I just wanted to try it because 6 being the first digit on speed looks go crazy. I mean, I don't even know if I can get my Rey over 600 speed. I believe Rey has got the highest base speed in the game. Might be tied. If I just sort by speed, how fast could I get Rey? How fast, theoretically, could I get Rey? If all I cared about was just maximum speed. $605. God damn, that's quick. You're miles away from Malgus, so Fun Diddy it is. Absolutely, Oxlane. Why not? But look at the offense drop-off. It's like, and the health drop-off. Gross. I mean, it would be on a crit chance triangle. Ugh. Not going to do that. Hey, what's going on, Slipstream? Alright, so let's keep on going over here. We'll see who's next on our list right now. I believe we haven't had any additional of the premium roster reviews. Let me know if that's incorrect, guys. If somebody has made a donation do shout out, because nothing else on my list is saying that you're on a priority review. Legion, you signed up. You did! Oh my god, I'm sorry, we missed you. Yeah, you did. Sorry, buddy. I somehow jumped right over you, Legion. You are in the line right now. We'll do you now. Sorry, buddy. You were supposed to actually be before Oxlane. Ha! Blame Oxlane. He tricked me. Alright, Legion. Sorry about that, buddy. Sorry about that, buddy. Let's go that Mac. So, Legion, you're looking for general feedback as to where you take your account from here. Okay, no problem. No problem. You're in the Battalion Alphas? You're in the Battalion Alphas? Get you, buddy. Currently farming Gungans. Good. Gungans and bow. Alright. But I'm wondering when I should be going for Lord Vader. Never. Never. Never is good. Additionally, excuse me, I want to add some relic levels on Hut Cartel Mason pilots. Finally, there are some teams that I want to finish out, like Darkside, Mandos, Vandal, Chewie, Zori. Wonder what I should prioritize. All good questions, Legion. All good questions. Thank you for stating those. I'm going to just copy that. I'm going to paste it inside of your chat section over here. Just so that I know what you've said. Just so I know what you've said. Isn't that wonderful? All right. Cool. So let's check out where you're at. Farming for Gungans is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So you're only missing Lord Vader right now. You've got the R9 JML. Some of these could have a couple more relic levels, but overall it's not the end of the world. Absolutely fine with that. Look at this R9 Malgus, R9 Bane, R9 Piet. Yeah, you're looking good, baby. You're looking good. All right, so let's check out the state of your Gungans at the moment. That's interesting. You got the Tarpals up, but Boss Nass didn't quite make the cut. Did you just not like me so like? That's fine. I'm not going to make Ray 605 speed. I'm not going to hamper my Ray. Okay. So, all I'd say about Gungans is the Jar Jar event just dropped, right? It was only, what, 2 weeks ago? A week ago? A week ago. A week ago it finished. You've got 3 months to finish these guys off. You don't necessarily need to be pushing super, super hard. Tarpals is faster because he's a Cantina farm. Yeah, that's a fair enough shout. That's a fair enough shout. You farmed a ton of Tarpals when there was the Zeta drops. Ah, nice, dude. Yeah, that works out. That works out. New hype train goal, take Ray to 605 speed? Absolutely. I tell you what, guys. If we hit a level 11 hype train, I will put Ray at 605 speed for the next round of 3v3, okay? There you go. The gauntlet has been dropped. So, yeah, you can chill, you can relax on the Gungans. Obviously, you're mostly there. Look, Boss Nass only needs a star, Boomadeer needs 2, and Phalanx need 2. You've most likely got 3 months to gear them up and star them. It's only Relic 5. I know it's only Relic 5, and they will be required for the new raid, but you don't need to worry about too much about prioritizing all the gear and all the relics straight away. Without Jar Jar, you don't have a full team to take advantage of them. Maybe in 3v3s you could do something like Boss Nass, Tarpals, and Phalanx with a Boss Nass Kron or something like that. Maybe get some use out of it, but I don't think it should be a massively high priority for you. Just background farming. Do the stars. Obviously do the stars, but don't worry about taking them to a relic straight away, in my opinion, unless they just become godly in 3v3, which I don't think will be the case. Maybe they will. Who knows? Who knows? You ditched Gungans for bow. Well, I mean, I know which one I would kick out of bed, and it wouldn't be Jar Jar. So, I love how Omega is right at the bottom of the roster right now. Poor Omega, we had to take it to Relic 9 recently, and your Omega is chilling there, level 1, gear 1, missing 2 stars. And leave it there for a month? Hell no. I'll leave it there for 1 lock-in week of GAC. Okay, cool. So let me just remind myself of where we were going with this. Yeah, Bo Mandalore. Okay, so let's see how far along are you progressing in the Mandalorians. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fine. You're nearly there with IG-12 and Grogu. You've got the stars for Paz, but none of the gear. All the stars and no idea. And then let's go ahead and check out our good boy Bella and Keck. Where is the Kecky boy? Keck, 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 Keck. Okay, so just missing a star. You're not far off her. I imagine if you pushed really hard, you could probably be... if you pushed really hard for Bo, you could probably be ready for her in about 3 weeks. She usually comes around about the 10th of each month. Around the 10th of each month. So she's most likely coming in about 3 weeks. A little bit more, maybe. So have a think about whether that is valuable to you. Don't forget, her cron has just dusted. So I'm sure she will still be doing stuff like beating Lord Vader. But it's not like she's going to be this massive powerhouse she has been to this day, right? She's just going to be very good instead of stupidly good. Always worth getting, though, especially with there being the new Mandalore planet that requires Bo Mando and BAM and +1. We used IG-12 earlier today to get it done. It was a really easy jobby. So, yeah. I'm not against the Bo push. I'm not against the Bo push in principle. All right? So you're talking about relic levels for Hutt Cartel and stuff like that. That's all very well and good. I remember seeing your Jabba the Hutt was at like, I think relic 7, right? 7. Yeah. I mean, the biggest benefit here is, of course, it does give you a little bit more viability when it comes to defensive plays in TW and GAC, which is always nice to have. The other bleed over benefit, of course, is that you'll be able to progress further in things like TB. I don't know how important that is to you and your guild, but Jabba is a very, very useful team to have in TB. He can auto, like mine are all R8, I think, and every wave I just go and hit auto with Jabba, and it's just like, it wins itself, no matter what. Yeah, I never have to worry about it. Weren't they beating Reaver last 3v3? They were indeed. I don't know if that's going to hold true with the new Reaver set. Maybe it does. I'm not sure. Essentially, they were beating Reaver thanks to the death mark. The cleanse was just causing death mark on the Gungan, so they could never get around to the shield generator, which gave me no end of joy. No end of joy. And you didn't need Jar Jar to make that work either. Yeah, there's no doubt Bo's going to be good with the 15% cron. No doubt at all. It's just she's not going to be the girl that opens up a battle and kills everybody on the team before anybody else gets a turn. She's not going to be that girl, you know? She's still going to be very good. She's still going to be very good. I think stuff like this is, like, honestly, wrapping up on your sort of, your investments, your hard node farms, your relic levels and stuff like that is always a nice to have. And you're kind of getting to that point where you could focus on that sort of thing. But really, you're so close to finishing up on your journey guide and all that sort of business. I would almost want to push you more in that direction, just so you can draw a line under it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he did mention that Zori was one of his projects. He did mention. Zori is definitely worthwhile getting. And she really is. She's very, very good. Especially with the current date. Well, I suppose it's no longer the current Datacron set. I don't know if you've actually got... I mean, we've got a Holdocron chilling up over here. So, I mean, you could probably make use. It's not the ideal level 6 or anything like that. But you could probably make use out of Holdo a bit. You've also got a Raycron. That one's got the ideal one. So, yeah, I mean, you could totally make use out of Zori, even without the crons. She's still very good. Do I have a farming guide for new players? Jason, I don't, actually. Do you think that would be something valuable for me to put out? Because I could do a video on that. I would just actually have to take the time. The music in the stream always reminds you of Persona. I've never played a Persona game, actually. Okay, so let me just double check again on what you were saying. So yeah, Vandal, Chewie I would leave off. Zori definitely, which should be a high priority because she's just one character. Darkside Mandos, you can go one of two ways. We're about to go into 3v3. So you can actually just do a duo. But honestly, with the current set, I'm almost feeling like Darkside Mandos right now can take a backseat. All the extra bulk, I think, is going to interrupt Mandos quite a bit. They won't be beating JMK anymore, thanks to the Datacron setup. Attacking out a turn, reduce damage, that sort of thing. Will probably shut out the Maul Mando counter to JMK, if you even see it on defense. I'm going to advise everybody saves JMK for offense to deal with Slacker Crons right now, depending on where the meta goes. Maybe a lot of people are just going to take Slacker on offense and it won't matter. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Did you start a new list today? No, we carried it over, Tickle. We carried it over, Tickle. Don't do it, Scribe. They're amazing and well worth it. But you don't have the time to even get close. Oh, damn it. Oh, thanks, Jason. That's a kind thing to say. Persona is really good. Nice. Fastest ray is 610. I'd be in 4th place. Damn it, I'd have to do some slicing. I don't know if I could get 5 more speed. 610 ray, that's huge. 120 hours. I don't have 120 hours. So we are actually out of time here. We are actually out of time. I don't know. Excuse me, sorry. Legion, if do you have any questions, dude? Do you have any questions that I can answer more directly? In terms of efficiency offense, Slacker 2-man's Lair and Ray, I don't see why you set it on defense. Because in Kyber 1, in defense on Kyber 1, anything that can strip banners is useful. Anything that can get a hold. So, for instance, if you're using it, it's going to matter less in 3v3. Because in 3v3, you can't take advantage of the Slacker level 9 Cron as much. You're missing out on a bunch of relic levels, right? But in 5v5, a Slacker team can literally AoE and kill 3 or 4 people off the team. Either that gets you the hold, or it forces JMK and you've forced a counter, or it forces Ray off defense and it forces a counter, right? It's about the banner efficiency that you can force your opponent to lose, not the ones that you can gain. We can already go in and 2-man layer. We can already go in and get really good banner efficiency wins against Ray. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that we've got more options with Slacker, but it's more valuable, in my opinion, to have something that's going to cause absolute havoc on defense. There's only a handful of counters so far that really deal efficiently with 5v5 Slacker with the with all the extra damage coming from the Cron and the 400% defense to offense. That's why Wombat. 610 Ray is stupid fast. So Lord Vader leave for a bit. I mean, like, the completionist in me is like, just do it. Oh, crap. The completionist in me is like, just do it. But I think if you want to get Bow, I would definitely say Bow. I'm trying to go to Bad Batch over here. Oh, man. See, this would help your Galactic Republic fleet as well with the Marauder, right? Getting the Bad Batch up. They've got a Datacron set at the moment. Yeah, only tech's level 9, but the level 6 and level 3 will still benefit the Bad Batch, maybe bring them to some level of relevance again. But the Marauder certainly would benefit. The Marauder would certainly benefit, because Negotiator with Marauder is a phenomenal beast. I'm still waiting for CG to actually up fleets to 4. Still waiting for that to happen, and I'm wondering why it hasn't happened already. So, I think you could. My only concern right now is you get Bow, say that takes you a month or just under 3 weeks, right? You get Bow. And in about a month after that, we should be seeing the new raid, right? So you get Bow, you prepare for Jar Jar, you get Jar Jar, new raid drops. There's going to be a whole lot of characters that we need to get to Relicate, and I feel like focus should be on getting top raid box, because that's where the best rewards are in the game. So I want to say for now to forget about Lord Vader. But it does have its benefits. Just took out Slacker and Squad Akrino. Yep. Yeah, JMK ruins Slacker. JMK ruins Slacker. No crits. No crits, lots of control, insta-kills, that sort of thing. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. In GAC, if you can set out your defense to try and draw out JMK, then the only thing that can realistically, to my knowledge, deal with Slacker is, like, Ray. So far. JML might be able to deal with it. I'm a little bit iffy on that one. If your Slacker is modded right, I think you just power through. But why would you want Ray at 610 speed? You wouldn't really, Big Ninja. Welcome back, Amy. Did you notice that the SF, is that the Special Forces Cron makes you ignore taunt at all times, not just when you've got advantage? No, I didn't actually, but I don't have it yet, so I haven't been able to test that. The only level 6 I've got is the 400% defense to offense. JML eats Slacker? I'm not sure. I'm not sure we can make a blanket statement on that. In general terms, I agree with you, but I would like to think that the way it would go in a JML standard comp, say it's a JML, Jedi Knight Revan, Jedi Knight Luke, and Jedi Knight Cal, let's say, with JML. One, you outpace JML, right? Let's just take that as a given. Maybe if they've focused a crapload on speed, they might outpace you, right? Might outpace my Slacker. My Slacker. I'm doing it in the context of my Slacker, okay? Because that's the frame of reference that I've got. Okay, so for reference, my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is 582. So for JML to outspeed me, he would have to be 573. 573 speed JML to outspeed my Slacker, right? And 12k offense. So let's just picture the scenario. How would it happen? Open up turn. It would be turn 1. Slacker would poke on JML because for some reason, he doesn't just use his AoE. It's annoying, but there we go. JML, Holder, JK, Revan plus whatever. You can't lose against Slacker. That's really not true, Sethi. That's really not true. Have you even fought the new Cron? Like, let's not make blanket statements here. No worries, Legion. You sent a photo of it in DMs? Thanks, buddy. Let me check it. Huh. That's, I'm not surprised. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not surprised, but with 571 speed JML, 571 speed JML wouldn't outpace this one because he's 582. So he'd have to be 572 to match the speed, even if he didn't. So say turn 1 it would be poke. If I was doing it on offense against JML on defense, I'd just wipe, and then like 3 of the characters would die straight away. So essentially, what you'd have to do is you'd have to be able to control an ability block Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and Hux to the point that he doesn't get to a second turn. You know? Don't tell Meathead. I will. Yeah. So that's the long and short of it. You'd have to be able to make sure Slacker doesn't get to a second turn, because as soon as he gets to a second turn, you're losing 3 characters. You know what I mean? That's the issue. That's the issue I feel. He just does too much damage. That's the problem. You beat JMK with Slacker. I was trying to get... Yeah, it can happen. Slacker is a very malleable toon. He can get around a lot of people. You can beat pretty much everything with the right setup, especially with this new Cron. He can definitely beat everything. But, well, JMK in the current setup is just nasty. But Yep, that's the way I've done it, Wombat. I don't know if I'd classify my Hux as super fast, but he's relatively quick. My Hux is currently 341. 341, I think he's gaining 30 speed. So 371. And he starts with 15% turn meter. So unless you're going up against JMK, I'm not even sure if JMK even counters that. So 341 plus 30, 371, divide that by, what is it, 15%, so 85. 436 speed, roughly. He's pretty quick. He's pretty quick. Worker Lurker here, hope you're having a great day. We are, Jackson, thank you so much. So he's relatively quick, not the fastest boy in the world, but quickly enough that if you don't happen to land, I really need to make sure I remod this guy, actually. Well, he's got decent tenacity, actually. So say JML did an F-Lux and didn't land ability block on Hux. Hux would immediately turn me to swap over to Slacker. And then, you know, AoE. Oh yeah, Wombat. No, but I very deliberately put Hux incredibly fast because I plan on putting him on defense with Slacker. I plan on doing that to make people's lives miserable. Which is why the Slacker is so fast as well, right? I've made him so fast to make it as difficult as I possibly can. Because I genuinely don't think even, like, Bane deals well with this. I think it will be a case of Bane starts, Slacker pokes him, and he dies. You know? Yeah, throw in an armorer. You can throw in GBA as well. You got owned hard, damn. Sathi, I expect a formal apology in a video format, and for you to tell me how right I am. Okay? If you could do that in the next 20 seconds, that'd be swell. Thank you. Everybody point and laugh at Sathi, okay? Yeah, the new Kron is just ridiculous. Alright, we are going to continue. We are going to continue with roster reviews. Sorry about the detour there. Good enough. Good enough, Sathi. Thank you, buddy. Alright. Let's see. Who's actually next on our list? Who's next on our list right now? Ba-da-da-da. The only Lone Star. Lone Star, are you in the chat? Lone Star, are you in the chat? Bing Bog. The forms have carried over, Lukak. Yep. The fastest one is 345. The fastest Hux is 345? What was mine again? What was mine again? 343? Maybe I made my Hux a little too quick. Whoops. Hey, Bing Bog. How you doing, buddy? So, unless Lone Star comes in any moment now. 341. So, I'm pretty quick as far as Huxes go. Nice. Your Lone Star on there. Okay, so what's your ally code? What's your ally code, Big Ninja? Or just make him the dearest Hux. The fastest Hux. I mean, I probably could. It is Big Ninja? Okay, cool. Hey, Bald Man, how you doing today, buddy? So, should Hux or First Order Officer be faster? Okay, so there's value in either. And, like, that's a good point. I didn't bother doing First Order Officer that quick. I don't think I put him in as the... I don't think I did anything with Foos, actually. Because we've got 3v3 coming up, and I'm not going to be running Foo. So, I've not bothered with him. Because I'm going to use Hux instead. Thank you, Big Ninja. Just checking, just making sure. There wasn't somebody just coming in and being like, yeah, that was totally my ally code. Cool. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Let's get you up on the screen. I'm 13th on the Hux list. Nice, it's my lucky number. It's my lucky number. Alrighty. Okay, so reset that clock. And we'll start the timer. So, Lone Star or Big Ninja, you've said, I have a lot of single-character lifter teams that would most likely... What? I have a lot of single-character lifter teams would most likely... Most like a good priority for them and Zetas. Okay. Alright. Okay. Single character lifter teams that you want a priority listing to. Fine. I'm not sure I understand what you mean, Big Ninja. What exactly do you mean? Have the PC client code winners yet been decided? They have Immortal Tyranny, and I've sent them out via direct game messages. So you might not have been lucky, I'm afraid. I did have a lot of applicants. And technically tied for 8th with several guys. Big Ninja, exact, Stap, Zori. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so I want to say Zori is really high up on that list. Your Stap right now can wait just because when you're looking at single character lifter teams, you want to look about how can I get the maximum amount of benefit out of the least amount of input, right? In order for you to get good use out of Stap, you need a General Grievous relic up, and most likely at a minimum of relic 7. So we're looking at 2 characters over here to take to relics, some relatively high relics for you to really take advantage of it. Plus, is it something that you should be worried about right now? No, in my opinion. So, Zori is a completely different story. See what I did there? See what I did there? Résistance. Pièce de résistance. So, this over here, I can totally get on board with. The only thing that you have to remember when it comes to Zori is you do want to have that Finn lead Zeta. That's going to give you... it's actually a pretty good Zeta. It's good TM generation, that sort of thing. So, I'm on board with you going for Zori. Okay? Stap, Zori, etc. I also might unlock Bane this conquest. Maybe. Why maybe, Big Ninja? Why not definitely? Can they just roll out the PC client already? Jeez. I think they should, to be honest. This beta seems to be very secure and successful. Jason, that really depends on if Meathead gives me more codes. You know? That depends on if CG give me more codes to give out to the community. Yeah? Depends if you want to spend crystals. If it means unlocking Bane, I would say do it. I know it sucks when you're like, do I have to spend crystals on Conquest? It's always worth it. As long as you're not doing like the 200s or something like that, then crystals invested into Conquest is always worth it. Sorry, I've got loads of messages coming through on my phone right now. And I need to clear those out. There we go. Cool. Good. The PC client is amazing, I do agree. I'll be 20 shards short after box, so it'd be 2,400 crystals. Yeah. So are we talking proving grounds here? Are you talking refreshing proving grounds? So Bane is the single most powerful character outside of a GL. He's totally worth it, 100% worth it. Even without his Chron, I feel he's still worth it. So if you have the crystals available to you, I would recommend doing it if you want to get him straight away, because he really is that good. He really is that good, and he doesn't need much support. One character that you most likely already have. So you could throw in Dooku if you wanted to, for example, and he'd still be absolutely fine. Pretty much, Wombat. Pretty much. He's just so incredibly valuable. He just beats everything. It's just like, oh yeah, you got a team on defense? Yeah, I beat that. And it's good banners and, you know, stuff like that. Provided you actually give him some sort of priority modding, you take him to a good relic level, you put at least the Rule of 2 army on, you'll be laughing. All the way to home to the bank. You've been using Bane in Conquest and burning through battles? Nice. 3 stars even at low stamina? I haven't used him actually. Hard counters Gungans too. Yep, I used him against Gungans in the last round of 5v5. And it was flawless. They don't do nearly enough damage to him. Not nearly enough damage. Gungans aren't a massively offensive team. They don't put out boatloads and boatloads of damage, especially if you're immune to percentile health effects. So, anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here, Ninja. So, Big Ninja over here. From the Jawa scavenger store. What? I've been using Bane in Kong... Oh, sorry. No, that's true. So, in short, definitely get Zori. I think you pass up on things like Stap right now. If you happen to be gearing up your General Grievous as well at this point, it's not the worst thing in the world. You know, characters like Wampa, you've got the Omi, that's a decent amount of investment. Really depends on what sort of teams you're facing in GAC. Wampa's use is quite limited at the moment, but can still beat certain things given the right scenario. It's things like this that I think could do with a little bit of uplifting. Take a look at the fleet game again. I love the Executor, man. The Executor at 7 stars is really nice. How close are you to stuff like Profundity or to Sith Empire? Yeah, you're nowhere near on them. Okay, fine. It's tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky. Because I think right now, you looking to shore up teams is not the right thing for you to do. I think what you really should be focusing on is what's your next big farm. Because having Slacker and having Ray and having an Executor is great. It's a good basis, right? It's a good starting point. This isn't the point that you stop off and you think, I'm just going to, you know, fix up a couple of things that I'm missing. Because you should be using that momentum to try and drive forward and push forward into new things. Like, you don't have your Jabba ready, you don't have your JML, you don't have your Profundity, you don't have your Sith Empire team built up like that. I don't know if you've got your Inquisitors built up. That sort of thing. Right now, I would continue pushing rather than trying to shore up teams. Zori, anything that's like one character lifter can be an exception. Anything that already starts out as one character but ends up being 3-4 characters, all of a sudden you start chewing into the territory where you're like, well, in this time, I could have gotten halfway to a GL, or I could have gotten full way to a GL, or whatever, you know? So, I personally would like you to think about where do you want to go? What's your next big farm? Think about going for things like Jabba, things like Profundity, things like JML. You could think about trying to farm for the Gungans as they come available, just to get their shards ready, to see if you can be ready for this when it comes back out in 3 months' time. It's not a bad thing to do, but I don't think it should be your focus in particular, you know? Because currently Gungans don't lead to anything apart from Jar Jar and viability in the new raid. But you should be able to have some sort of viability with some of the other characters regardless. Your Separatists aren't too bad. Maybe you can fall back on this. Maybe then Stat becomes viable. Boomadeer and Tarpals put out decent damage. From what I've seen, they really don't. Maybe it's just been me, but it feels like most of their damage comes from like plasma shield, plasma, whatever the plasma gunk is, and then shocking it for that reduced massive damage. The rest of it just seemed really anemic to me. Good stuff, Big Ninja. But then again, I suppose I've not. I suppose I've not modded them for offense, really. I think I've focused more on speed and potency on them. But hey-ho. Yeah, so maybe when the raid comes out, honestly, for the raid, raids are very, very important to get high scores and should be a focus for a lot of people, right? But the problem with the raid is we still don't have a list of characters, and even when we get the list of characters, we need to know, are the mechanics going to change? Is the modding going to change? Are we going to, are trash characters all of a sudden going to be important? Or is it going to be more like the Crate Dragon raid, where it's like, oh, you invest in your good characters, but, sometimes you don't have the depth of roster available to only invest in the good characters. You'll have to invest in some of the worst characters as well, take them up to high relic levels. That's the problem right now, where I really don't want to recommend anybody invest now for the raid. But someone in your position, I can't also in good conscience tell you, don't invest anything, because you need to keep growing. Are the GL mods looking good? Let's have a look. I like the Slacker. The Slacker is good. Especially if you're running, well, get yourself a Slacker Cron. That's the first thing. This is good. I mean, that's not terrible, but it's not the ideal one that you want right now. But get that to level 9. Hopefully get either Special Forces TIE Fighter Pilot or the Slacker level 9. And your Slacker's in good position, right? No, Luke, you don't have to do the form. Okay, Ray now, we've got health and offense. Good to see. Decent speed, decent health, decent offense. Your modding's good, dude. I'm proud of you, Big Ninja. I'm proud of you. You got some good mods going on. Good mod game, dude. Good mod game. Seal of approval from Scribble. Big seal of approval. No worries, dude. No worries. Wow. That was some good stuff. That was some good stuff. Anyone aware of the issue with Bane going against Holdocron? Yes, Darren. Essentially, if you drain all of Holdo's maximum health, so she's only got 1 max health, you technically can't kill them because she can't drop below 100% health. So what you have to do is not siphon to the point that you can't hurt Holdo. You need to use the middle special and the basic enough times. And you're very welcome, Big Ninja. Evening Zone, how you doing today? The pull-out game's pretty good. That's the way. Okay, let's see who's next in our list. Let's see who's next in our... Welcome to the next contender. Bing Bog, are you still in the chat, buddy? Bing Bog, Bing Bog, bada-bam-bam, Bing Bog, Bing Bog, bada-bam-bam. Jason, where are you, buddy? Let's find out. Oh, you are 34th, my friend. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And we're on 3 at the minute. But there are 2 people in between there that we haven't done. Tickle? No, we haven't passed you yet, buddy. You are 10th. No, yeah, you're 10th at the minute, buddy. I am indeed on 3. I'm on 3 and you're in 10th right now. And 6th was already done, so no worry. Bing Bog, he is in the chat. Okay, good business. Let's get you up on the screen. Let's get you up on the screen, buddy. So you were saying just finished Inquisitors, now farming JML. Should I work on Jedi Knight Cal Kestis or finishing my mini party farms? Okay, good questions. Good questions, buddy. Let's go ahead and start the clock. Alrighty. So, Bing Bog, let's have a look. 6 mil, about the same as we just saw with Big Ninja. So it'll be interesting to see the difference here. Chilling in Rhodium 2, loving the 7-star Executor, running around. It's not a Slacker-Cron yet. I mean, it's not even the right set, so can't be a Slacker-Cron yet. But still, Slacker inside of Squad Arena. What are we looking at? Very, very similar so far. Very, very similar to Big Ninja. We've got Slacker, we've got Ray. We've got Ray, we've got Slacker. We did that right. And we've got 6 mil, and we've got a 7-star exec. It's almost like you guys followed the same farming route. Almost exactly, in fact. So that's good to know. So you said in your question section that you just finished Inquisitors, which is actually huge for a 6 million GP account. Finishing off your Inquisitors is a big, big deal. Oh, look at that. How close are you to Reva, buddy? How close are you to Reva? Luke, you are 26th, good sir. $5 months to unlock on Reva? Okay. But hey, if it wasn't for you, people would be waiting even longer, right? So good on you. Do you also have their ships? Do you also have the Inquis ships? You do not. How far are you away from Scythe and the Interceptor? Hey, Waterfalls, how you doing, buddy? Do. Maybe like a year? Okay, that's a shame. That's a shame. I guess you have to do it through Proving Grounds for them? I'm not even sure at this point. Okay. Okay, no problem. It's good that you've got the Inquisitors. You can still make some use out of them. That's absolutely fine. They're less than ideal without Reaver, but they'll still have some use. You'll be able to take down pretty much any Jedi team that you come across with the right modding, the right approach, and right chutzpah. Not necessarily teams like JMK, though, without Reaver. So, you're farming for JML. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is a bit of an interesting one, right? Because his requirements are pretty lax. It's only Gear 12 to unlock him. Gear 12 is very, very much achievable, but it does still involve Cairo farming, right? And Cairo farming is something that is going to take up time. So, you could, theoretically... I believe his event is still currently active right now, but you're obviously not going to be ready now, and I don't think he's gone permanent to the Journey Guide. However, he should be permanent to the Journey Guide in about a month's time. So he might well come back in a month and then be permanent in the Journey Guide and be easy for you to farm out. He might not. He might not. CG aren't always totally consistent with this sort of thing, but it's worth noting, right? So that if you wanted to, it could be quite an easy dip in, dip out sort of thing. He lifts JML very well. He does lift JML very well, and if you had the roster depth for it, he can actually break off and go and work in other Jedi teams like Bastila teams in 3v3 and stuff like that. You can go like Bastila, Mace, Jedi Knight Cal, and you can beat things like Malgus, which is really good value. However, you don't have the depth in your roster right now to properly split up a JML Jedi Knight Cal Kestis team. So I want to lean into, unless your guild is really focused on pushing for unlocking Zepho to get the additional rewards from there, that you can probably push out the Jedi Knight Cal Kestis farm just a little bit. Maybe don't make it a massive priority right now. Does that make sense, Bing Bog? Man, these pretzels are Moorish. They want to do Zepho by the summer? And that's absolutely fine. If that is the case, then absolutely push. He's not a bad character. He's very good. He's very good. Congrats, Sathi. Congrats on the unlock. He is very good, and he's definitely worth having in your roster. He definitely elevates the roster. So if your guild wants to do it, what you should do is you should try and align to the guild timetable. If they're expecting it by a certain month or by a certain date, try to line it up that you get there. Like I said, he should be going permanent to the Journey Guide really soon, so it'll be a lot more flexible. You won't be, slaved to, is CG releasing Jedi Knight Cal anytime soon? So that's okay. Focus on your JML for now, because even on Zepho, when you're doing the combat mission with Cal, which is worth so much more points than a standard combat mission on that planet, you'd usually take in JML anyway. It's a tough mission, especially if you're not going to use any of the Omnis on Cal. Good business. Good business. After JML is what you need to be thinking about, right? So I like the fact that you've obviously prioritized guild farm requirements, right? Hey Grievous, how you doing, dude? I like the fact that you are pushing and leaning quite heavily into the guild requirements. You've already done your Inquisitors, even though you're like 5 months out from Reaver. That's great. That's great. You're a real team player for the guild, and that's something that you should always value. Or your guild should value. Did you miss your windows? Your window? No, things are still open. We're still open at the moment. We've probably got about another hour or so. Not sure how many we'll get through. We'll try and get through as many as we possibly can. So yeah, your guild should value that, right? After you've done JML tends to dovetail quite nicely into getting things like Profundity and getting things like Jabba. Both of those are really, really valuable. You've already got the 7-star exec, so let's have a think and take a look at your Rogue One. Rogue One not looking so pretty right now. Not looking so pretty right now. But hey, that will build out. That will build out. Let's look at your Rebel fighters. Ooh, he's a fighter, boy. Okay. So it's a little bit of the way out for you at the moment. JML is not a bad farm, but is there a reason why you would go JML over Jabba? Is it just that you like Jedi and you just want to get JML? I mean, I love JML. I think he's a great GL. But Jabba tends to bring more to rosters. Hey, Alexandra. Trera is one of those characters that you could drop a couple of relic levels on if you wanted to. Scion you can ignore, but Nihilus you can't. Yeah. You've got quite a lot in the Gear 12 range. Why do you have Gear 12 Jawas? And an Omi. What's with the Jawa love, dude? Do you have a Utini fetish? What's this about, buddy? You're just close to GML from the Rebel Pack. Could swivel Profundity and get really strong fleets. I mean, I think ultimately it should be a preference choice for you right now, okay? Because you pick one of the two, and whichever one you don't do first, you do the other one afterwards, right? So if you want to get JML now, then do Profundity. Or you could do Profundity now, then get JML. Just tie them close together, because they are very good farms for you to get done. I don't think, unless you really, really are struggling in Fleet, and GACs and not winning because of Fleet or something like that, then, you know, maybe that's when you focus Profundity. Because it'll give you just a little bit of extra stuff to play with. And it's a very, very efficient fleet. When it actually calls to assist the stupid fleet. JML, on the other hand, also very, very valuable. Very useful in things like Conquest as well. So, I didn't know Jason Statham played Suga. Oh, it's Scribe. Whiskey Hoarder. You didn't know. I can't do a Jason. I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. Sorry about that, guys. Like, I thought we'd fix the mic issues. And they just reared their ugly head once again. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, you might go JML, Jedi Knight Cal for the guild, and then into Jab. Sounds like a good idea to me. Just don't delay that Profundity too long, okay? Any last questions, Bing? Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm going to get myself another drink because I'm getting parched once again. And then next up on our roster review list is Wildly Mediocre Gamer. That's a great name. Wildly Mediocre Gamer, are you in the chat right now? All right. That's absolutely true, Texas. Hey, Adahan. Dancing for Rain, how you doing? So, wildly mediocre gamer. Are you around? Are you around? His last message was half an hour ago. Ruh-roh. I mean, wildly mediocre gamer could be my tagline. Scribe and Vibe. That's how we used to call our streams, yep. Scribe Tribe Intergalactic Vibes, baby. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay. No. No wildly mediocre gamer. All right, moving on then. Arnold. Not Arnold T101. Arnold. Are you in the chat? I'm sure Arnold T101 is definitely not in the chat. Arnold. It's not that Arnold. It's a different Arnold, guys. There could be more Arnold T102. Yeah, it's actually the it's the Arnold T100. It's the earlier model. It's the earlier model. Testing once for Arnold, twice for Arnold, thrice for Arnold. Emmett, I don't think you're Arnold. Hey, Arnold. You would be Emmett or trollalalalalal. Lost twin brother. Hope I don't miss my name. I'm sure he is with us in spirit. Get to the chopper. All right. So next up on the list then, Janus. Janus, you in the chat, buddy? Janus. Janus. He's got a big flag. Yeah, you thought I was going to say something different, didn't you, chat? You thought I was going to say... Janus, you're here. Okay, good. Janus, we've got you. I'm sure you've got a massive roster, Janus. So, let's go ahead and check you out. Is your first name Hugh? Hugh G. Janus. 9.8 million GP for Janus. Alright, trying to figure out how to balance relicking Jedi and others to R8 with the need to focus on Gungans and Stap. Alright. That's fair. That's totally fair. So, we're going to keep this sweet. Looking at your roster, 9.8 million. You got a lot of the GLs rolling already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 GLs. So you're only missing 2 at the moment. Who are you missing? You're missing Rey, and you're missing... What's his face? The other guy, Lord Vader. Alright, Rey and Lord Vader. Fair. Fair, that's fine. I'm guessing you didn't Lightspeed bundle for one of these. No. No, but you got some investment all the way, already on the way. So that's not too bad. Okay, cool. I was just curious more than anything, Janus. I'm not planning on getting Lord Vader or Rey. Well, you must be at some point, surely. What were you munching on, Scribe? Pretzels, buddy. Pretzels. Okay, so. You're talking about, in the context of your statement when you were filling out this, you were talking about relicking Jedi, Gungans, and Stap. When you say Jedi, do you mean that in the context of this new raid? Do you mean in the context of the new raid, you're like, who should I relic up? Or do you mean I'm just looking to relicate some Jedi? Because those are different things, right? Those are different things. Rotar 8. Why are you focusing on Rotar 8? I'm a pretzel connoisseur. Do you like to twist into a pretzel? Is your guild just trying to push for additional stars? I mean, so you can do CMs? Okay, but why? I'm trying to get an understanding of what your goal is. Like, as far as investments are concerned, investing for Rise of the Empire is like the worst return on investment that we can do in the game. You like TB. Okay, that's a different story. If you just like doing TB, absolutely fine. Crack on, you do, buddy. You know? My goal is to 100% TB to the extent I can without getting Lord Vader. Okay. This sounds a lot like you're just don't like Lord Vader and you don't like Rey, so you just don't want to do them. And that's fine. Anybody can play the game how they want. Obviously, when I give advice to people, I give advice to people to build out their rosters in a way that's competitive. And obviously, ignoring 2 GLs is like ignoring 2 of the best characters in the game. But it's okay if you want to go down that route. If you just don't want to do those characters, it's perfectly okay, and we can ignore them in that context. I just need to be aware of that when I'm giving you advice. So, in the context of actual TB performance, I mean, we would probably end up splitting this. Jedi Knight Cal, you've already got to Relic 8, so you could probably use his leadership because it looks like you've got 2 of his things. One of them is on the Zeta and the other one's on Windmill Defense. That makes total sense. Okay, so with this in mind, I know that, I haven't done Jedi Knight Cal's Ommis, but I've heard that his leadership Ommi basically turns all of the combat missions that you use with him into a joke. Look at his mods. I mean, I can't look at his mods. I can look at his mod. I'm guessing he's just remodded recently for a rote battle. Janus, did you remod for a rote battle or something and forget poor little Cal over here? Poor little Ginger Cal. That's fine. Start a battle, gain 100% max health protection, 300% of Cal's, and 300% of Jedi Knight Cal Kestis' defense. That's crazy. At the start of each encounter, allies gain 25% turn meter and frenzy. Defeated enemies can't revive. Stacks of impest. Yeah, that's so powerful. God damn. I thought I put mods back on everyone. Not this guy, not this Ginger beloved guy. Make sure you change him before you do any more combat missions with him. Okay, cool. So obvious ones are stuff like, Jedi Knight Luke, very, very valuable. Kyle Katarn has got a TB Ommi, if you really care about TB that much. You can do stuff like Jedi Knight Revan. Jedi Knight Revan doesn't need to be Relic 8 for anything. Relic 5 is absolutely fine for him. But in the context of TB, you only really want to try and invest in Jedi that are good. He brings a lot of technical capabilities to any team. Jedi Knight Luke and Hoda, not sure who else you want to take to Relic 8. Well, in my opinion, Jedi Knight Revan should be in that hat, and so should General Skywalker. Skywalker is super, super valuable. Gas is just so incredibly tanky. Even in TB at the moment, even if you're not running him in a 501st team, which is completely fine, you can always use 501st on planets like Zeffo and stuff like that. But even just throwing him under either JMK or JML really improves the viability of those teams. You can even, if you're not, you could throw them under a particular other light side GL that you're not going to get. But, that's neither here nor there. Jolee, you could do. There's nothing wrong with a Relic Jolee. Relic 8 Jolee has got survivability, and I believe he's an operations toon. You can do stuff like Keller and Beck, but in my experience, I never end up taking Keller and Beck inside of rote missions. Personally, I just don't do it. Gas is incredible. Gas is like a top tier one in my opinion. I would do Gas before Jedi Knight Luke. I would do Gas before anybody, to be honest. Before anybody else, I'd just do Gas. He's just too good. So you could do like Gas, Jedi Knight Luke, Revan. You could do Hoda. You could do Jolee if you really wanted to. You could do Bastila, because she's required at Relic 7 anyway for something. Leviathan, I want to say. I haven't seen anybody use Padawan Obi-Wan in the new one, in Rote, so I don't know. I have a suspicion that Relic 10 will give bonus speed to encourage people. They might do. We don't know. Gas, definitely, mate. Gas is just way too good. Way too good. I don't want to spend all my time just looking at your Jedi, though. You also said Jedi and others, with the need to focus on Gungans and Step. So I'm guessing Gungans is for the context of the raid. So you can just work on their stars in the meantime. And Separatists. Now, funny thing. Separatists are actually really good in Rote. You're working on Gungans for the raid. Okay, that's fine. So, all you have to do is make sure that you align your farms to, in 3 months' time, be ready for Jar Jar. That's all it is, right? They're only Relic 5. You can do the unlock at Relic 5. Not a problem. Try to make sure that you've got the Zetas done for them at that point. Try to make sure that you've got enough Relic material to get them there in the gears. For now, just work on those stars, right? As soon as that event drops, you can just go boop, 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 get the gear, get the Relic levels, boom. There's your Jar Jar, right? It's a relatively easy event. Premier focus is raid and rote. Then I do well in GAC and TW. Okay, yeah, that's fine. If that's where your focus is, like focusing on the raid is very, very important. Trench with the standard team, Trench, Django with Wat Tambor and Newt and what's his face, Count Dooku, do really well in dark side missions. They do. It's funny. They're actually very good. Who knew? I knew. But yeah, you can beat like the Acklay and you can beat the Reek and you can beat like the droids in phase 1 and stuff like that. They do relatively good. You know, pretty reliable team. So if you're looking for sort of cross use there, we don't know yet because we haven't seen what the requirements are for the new raid, but I would not be surprised in the slightest if Droideka is a requirement. I wouldn't be surprised if Newt Gunray is a requirement for the Separatists for the new raid. I wouldn't be surprised if... I doubt Wat Tambor, but you never know. You never know. B1, almost certainly. Stap, obviously, is going to be. Trench is bookmarked, but I just haven't pulled the trigger to gear him yet. Newt definitely makes sense. Newt definitely makes sense. Well, the thing is we're assuming at this point that it's going to be a team of 5 per faction, right? It could be, maybe we get another 3-man raid. Maybe we do. Maybe it's a 5-man raid, right? If it's a 5-man, we need at least 5 Separatists. And looking at it, it's a bit hard to say. Like, Newt is almost a cert because he's in there. The B2 shouldn't necessarily, nor should Maggie, because they didn't feature there. The Geos shouldn't be, because they weren't in Episode 1. Neither was Wat Tambor, neither was Grievous, neither was Asajj, neither was Django. Well, Droidekas were. Droidekas absolutely, and B1. So far it doesn't give us enough to work with. Do you know what I mean when it comes to Separatists? So they're going to have to dip in, or they're going to have to release additional characters. So Newt, Stap, B1, Droideka. Those make sense, right? So we need one more. Who's it going to be? I know he wasn't in Phantom Menace, but CG has been trying to get people to invest in this spider dude for so long. People hate Trench. They hate him. I wouldn't be surprised if he became the 5th for the Separatists. He might not, but I wouldn't be surprised. They're now called Big Spooder. Weird looking cat. What? Oh, he's... Oh, those are your names for them? Big Spooder, Weird Looking Cat, and Rhino Thing. Not... Okay, not the Acklay, the Reek, and the Nexu. Trenches bookmarked, yada yada yada. Spider-Man. The Big Spooder. What if he's the capital ship? That would be... Then they would double down? Yeah. Thank you so much, Pebbles. Appreciate you for the resub, dude. Yeah, there's a lot of assumptions going around at the moment that Trench might get his capital ship as the next GL capital ship. Maybe you will, maybe they won't. Don't know. It would mean back-to-back dark side capital ships, but that's not the end of the world exactly. I love those clicky noises. So it's a bit tricky, and we don't have a heck of a lot of time before this raid launches. You know, we're talking maximum 3 months and this raid launches. I'm thinking probably closer to 2 to 2.5 months.
Jason0209 tipped £5. I
Thank
checked
you,
no for priority yesterday, but decided to do so now. Also,
Thank you,
I
kindly.
forgot some things in the tell me about your roster. I will post it in chat.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. So yeah, before we move on, Janus, do you got any questions, buddy? Do you got any questions? So as far as Jedi are concerned, I would go Gas, Jedi Knight Luke, Revan. Because I prefer going for offensive-based characters, I guess. Gas being in that order of priority. Separatists, I think there's value in Trench. I think there's 100% value in Newt. They both perform well and together for Rote as well. That's at Relic 7, they'll do the first 2 planets, no problem. I'm figuring 2 months. I'm currently 2nd in my raid each week, so I want to remain at that level. Absolutely, Janus. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Yeah, so being able to jump in, it's going to be Galactic Republic, Jedi, Separatists, and Gungans. So trying to time that all out is going to be tricky. Obviously going to be tricky. So you don't want to invest too much because you'll be strapped for relic materials, right? So I don't think Gas will be a part of it. Mace Windu might be, GMY might be. Characters like C-3PO, I think there's more chance of characters like C-3PO and R2-D2 being requirements just because of Galactic Republic, right? Galactic Republic that aren't Jedi, we need to fill out. It's going to be Queen Amidala. It's going to be the likes of, you know, Master Qui-Gon Jinn and Padawan Obi-Wan. Might be C-3PO and R2-D2. You might get the likes of some of the lesser-known people like Plo Koon. You might even get Keller and Beck. Might be Barriss. Might be Cam. Might be Lumi. Might even be Clone Wars Chewie. We just don't know. This is why I really want to see the list. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some trash characters from down here. So, this is why I want you to be a little bit hesitant about blowing your load on stuff too soon, yeah? Hey, Tickle. Are you off now, buddy? Are you off now, buddy? So, Jason, you just put in a donation for a priority roster review. Let me see. Jason. Is that 313-831-185, Jason? Oh, sorry. All good. Just want to make sure that I'm getting the right person here. That's you, Jason? Okay, good business. Good business. Thank you so much for your donation, buddy. Oh, it's Letha that was off. I don't know if you saw my message about leaving for work, but if you end up doing mine, I'll be listening in the stream. Oh, okay, no worries, Letha. Peace out, dude. Okay, Jason. So I'm going to wait for you to put your comments that you were going to put down in. You said there was some stuff that you wanted to write about. You're welcome, Janus. You got a nice roster, dude. And I like the approach. I like that you focus more on PvE. That's cool. Yep, okay. I see what you're saying, Jason. Is that the lot, Jason? Yeah? So what you're saying is, basically, you're relatively new to the game, but you bought a lot of the Lightspeed bundles. That's massively inflated your GP. You've got loads of choice, and you're a bit like overwhelmed. Oh my god, where do I go? What do I do? Makes total sense. Makes total sense. All right. Let's start the clock. So I'm just going to double check over here to see what you actually wrote yesterday. A relatively new player, lots of Lightspeed bundles, only need Riders 5-star. After that, well, that sounds like all the exact same things. Okay, that's fine. Padme just kicked Omega in the face for 556k damage. Think she did. Yep, that would do it. Okay, so you're 4.3 million GP. And I'm guessing that those Lightspeed bundles probably account for like 2.5 million of it at least, right? Because you haven't even got the GLs unlocked. Are you so much so at the point of you don't even know where to go? You're about to unlock Rey, so you're just missing a couple of the stars on your, or shards on your Radis, right? To get that event started rolling. If in doubt, by the way, I think I've got a guide on the Rey event. Maybe check that out. Let's have a look at all this. Yeah, okay, fine. Got the Zori up and running as well. So what you should focus on first and foremost, I don't know how many of these Lightspeed bundles you bought, but it's probably a couple, right? It's probably a couple. Got First Order up and running. Obviously, I think they're missing a couple of relic levels, but, you know, that's okay. That's minor at best. Let's see, did we do, like, Geonosians? We didn't do Geonosians. Did we do Ewoks? We didn't do Ewoks. Did we do, like, Night Sisters? I'm wondering if you bought any of the recent ones, basically. We did do Night Sisters. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. Look at those Night Sisters. It took me years to get to this point, Jason. It took me years. And you just stroll in and throw down your $15. So did I, but whatever. It took me a lot longer to buy that pack than you. Plot armor should be back for Season 4. There is no Season 4. Okay, so All very good stuff, mate. All very good stuff. And it's completely understandable. Holy moly guacamole. Over here with the 6-star exec as well, you have been doing this correct, haven't you? Good on you, mate. Good on you. Very proud that even though... Oh, you definitely got the gas bundle as well. Oh my god, you are a lucky sausage, mate. You are a lucky sausage. Early game, getting that gas pack. Booyah, instant 7-star negotiator. Okay, so this is one thing that we will touch on very, very quickly for the negotiator. The negotiator is a very strong fleet, okay? It's a very strong fleet, but that pack does not give you the tank, okay? So make sure, if you're not farming it right now, make sure you make a priority of farming the BTLB Y-Wing, all right? Jason, sound off in the chat. Tell me you're going to be farming that ship, because without it, this fleet's just not that great. Yes, you would want the Marauder at some point, but that can be late game. Late game for you, okay? We don't worry about the Marauder right now. I just want to make sure that when your negotiator is running, you've got at least a taunting tank. All right? So let me know. Let me know when you've got that done. But this is still good. This is still real good. Now, I don't know. Did you actually go for and unlock, like, actual 501st? Not quite just yet. Not quite just yet. And that's okay. Looks like we got Dash. Does that mean you got Star Killer as well? Oh, yeah. I can see why you're feeling a little overwhelmed here, bud. I can see why you're feeling overwhelmed. Yeah. Okay. So what you need is focus. You need to get a pen and paper down and plan this out. You need to set up a plan straight away. First and foremost, finish off your top ticket items. You've got 2 GLs waiting in the wing. Get Ray, get Slacker. I'm assuming that you've been getting the shards for the finalizer as well, right? Twitch chat is not loading? Thank you, buddy. Yeah, it's just loaded in now. As soon as you mentioned it, boom. Twitch chat. Zeta Pool for years, absolutely. Muck can't stab me hammer. What? You are farming that. Good. No Bad Batch, not looking good. But Bad Batch, not looking good. That's fine. Jason, ignore the Bad Batch for now, buddy. Okay? So the BTLB Y-Wing is the priority farm for you to make sure that you can actually get the... you can actually get a taunting tank on that negotiator squad. It's great. But you also have the executor, which is super. So you're able to dip into both. So your fleet game is pretty good right now. Are you able to climb to the top of fleet shards? You are. You're number 1 in fleet. That's huge, dude. Huge. So what you want to do is you want to maintain that number 1 forever now. Forever. You forever hold number 1 in fleet. Not all throughout the day, but every day at your payout, you take number 1. That 400 crystals, you will miss it if you don't get to have it anymore. But it should give you an advantage over your compatriots. So, your compatriots. So yeah, you want to finish off your Rey, finish off your Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. If you really want to, you can go into the Resistance and you can pick up Zori. I do recommend it. You've got the shards already. Just try to take it to relic levels. You will need the Zeta. Oh, you've got the Zeta over here. And you'll want to have the army over here. She's got 2 Zetas herself. It's probably quite useful to get them. But I imagine Zetas for you are probably incredibly hard to come by because of all the stuff that you've just unlocked. So focus the priority on the GLs first and foremost. You don't need to get all of them. Like, for example, a lot of people skip on the basics, which is okay. Which is okay. But try to make sure that you at least get sort of 4 Zetas minimum on your GLs before you start spreading them thinner. Spreading them wider, as it were. So get those GLs done. Maybe touch on getting something like Zori as well. Meantime, make sure you are shard farming that BTLB Y-Wing the whole time, okay? After that, you have a lot of depth that you can work with here. It's, you know, honestly, having all of these characters all come through at once, I would be like, oh my god, where do I even go from here? But set yourself long-term goals. You can look at it and think, okay, I've got pretty good bounty hunter teams here. What do I need to make the bounty hunters work? Probably missing a Zeta over on Grief. But honestly, you could leave a lot Testing, testing. Okay. Yeah, it's only the mic that cuts out. It's only the mic that cuts out. It's not anything else. It's just mic goes blep for no reason. Don't know why. So I've sent a message to the Beacon mic guy. Okay. Cool. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, so yeah, I was saying with all these packs, you do have a lot of depth that don't have the fine tuning to them. And honestly, for the largest part, I think that's largely okay. What you should be using is that as a springboard to give you additional stuff. The only thing that I'd say that might be a little bit of an exception to that is you might want to consider building out a Starkiller team. But that lends itself quite nicely into getting C as well. So you could build up your Palpatine up to like Relic 7 for C. I think he's Relic 7 for C. Up to Relic 7 for C. And then you could think, oh, hold on, I could just use this time right now and we could gear up our Starkiller. You know? So we'll have a Dark Side Unaligned Force user. We'll have a Sith in C. We've got Starkiller. Then you want a Light Side Unaligned Force user. So you could, in the interim, just use Scavvy Ray. And then you want a Jedi of sorts, right? So a Jedi of sorts, you could use Old Ben, for example, right? And then you've got a good Starkiller team. Right, so it's like it's a smaller investment that still works towards other things to take advantage of that Lightspeed bundle pack that you bought to unlock Starkiller. Need Palpar 7 for Kylo anyway. There we go. What should you do with Savage or C-Rex? Okay, let's have a look at Phoenix first and foremost. So, you could finish off Captain Rex. He does bring viability to Phoenix. In the current climate as well, with Doubtcrons, puffed, then you will be able to find use out of him, which means you could use Datacrons, but it depends on how much, in order to really make the value out of that, you'd have to invest in Datacrons and stuff, right? So, I'm not against it. It's the only danger comes is when we start, when one lifter becomes several lifters, right? If you were to invest in someone like Savage, you could just take him to Relic 5 and use him as a solo counter. Use him as a solo counter against teams that you are facing in GAC. And that's very much a viable thing. He can take out stuff like CLS teams and that sort of thing with relative ease, provided you mod him particularly well, which is usually more about survivability and a little bit of offense than anything else. Oh, sugar, time mirror isn't on. Thank you. Appreciate you, Jason. It cut out at about bounty hunters. Thank you. So, what I was saying about bounty hunters is you don't necessarily need to invest a bunch of Zetas into that team to try and make it work, because you've probably got enough to get by, and those Zetas would be better spent on more priority farms, more important big ticket items, like your Slackers, like your Rays, like your Cs when you push for him. You know what I mean? So, I do think that's somewhere you could develop this into. Push through Slacker into C. Then you've got 3 GLs. You've got Exec as a capital ship. You've got your Negotiator as a capital ship. From there, you can start thinking about wider items, right? So do you start trying to work towards things like Jabba or JML? Do you start to work towards things like Profundity to keep that fleet benefit going for the long term? How important is Merrin in your state? You've got the Night Sisters, right? Okay, so the biggest issue is Merrin is a massively powerful lifter for the Night Sisters and allows her more viability to take out big ticket items, right? Can be useful against stuff like Jabba, for example. When they've got Datacrons as well, they're even more powerful. So she's a big lifter. The only issue I see with it right now is if you were to try and get value out of Night Sisters, you'd really need Zetas. And you don't have any on the team right now. You'd need at least one on Mother Talzin for the leadership, one on Daka for her unique, probably two on Merrin, potentially one on Asajj. It's probably not necessary. Do you see what I mean? The problem is to get that team rolling, you probably need like 5 Zetas, 100 Zeta mats. Is it gone again? Testing. No. I think we're okay. I think we're okay, right? Let me know in chat. Is the mic actually picking up? We're okay. Okay. Thank you. Asajj was saying sound mic. It made me confused about the microphone for a moment there. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Okay, good. I can hear you. Thank you kindly. Good business. So, yeah, you can obviously push into this. I just think my only concern is that it'll cost you a bunch of Zetas to get off the ground. What's a good Mon Mothma team for 3v3? Depends what you're going up against, really. We used to be able to use like a cleanup on Jabba teams of using Mon Mothma, Kyle Katarn, and Cassian. Mon Mothma, Kyle Katarn, Cassian. You could also use Mon Mothma, Kyle Katarn, K2SO, I believe. But I haven't tried it in a while. She loses a bit of viability in 3s, unfortunately. So, yeah. Okay, cool. It's... Yeah, so essentially I'm not against it. It's just it would be a big Zeta investment for you to really get the benefit out of that team. That's the only problem I've got with it, Jason. That's the only problem I have with it. And I think Zetas for you are going to be a real concern for a long time. Because you've just had so much growth in the roster. And it's not like the Lightspeed bundles also give you 100 Zeta mats, right? They don't. CG is expecting you to try and fork out more money to get a bunch of Zeta mats. Or to play the long game and it slow you down. So it's going to be tricky, buddy. It's going to be tricky. Okay. Do you have any other questions, Jason? Appreciate we've run out of time here, so. Just checking. And I am going to call it there as well, guys, because I've got the guy from Beacon Mike. He wants to have a look through my event log to see what's going on with my microphone. Because it's incredibly unprofessional for me to sit here and have my mic cut out 3 or 4 times a stream. And it's been going on for about 2 weeks now, I think. Maybe longer, in fact. I do Ray and Slacker first and then Starkiller. And what Ray team should you use? Yeah, sure. Actually, we can totally go through that. You're probably not going to have the depth to do any of the funky Ray stuff, right? So we're going to have to go in with a little bit more of a prototypical Ray team. The old school sort of Ray team. So you'd go in with OG Ray, JTR, the Bag Brothers. Yeah, OG Ray, JTR, Bag Brothers. You could throw in Holdo if you could sort out Kron. That'll be quite difficult for you right now because it's from the old set. And you can throw in either R2-D2 or BB-8. Like, that's kind of a more of an old school kind of setup, right? If you wanted to still go for the Zori Bliss style, obviously Zori Bliss ends up taking Finn and the Bag Bros, which means you've got to strip those guys out, or these guys out. So you could go Finn, Bag Bros, Poe, Zori. It doesn't leave you a whole lot for your Ray. So you got Ray, JTR. You can throw in Holdo if you want. You can throw in R2-D2 and BB-8. Helps with certain things. I know you don't have a lot of gear on him. You can run Zori under Ray. It's not an ideal setup, but it can work. And yes, I do recommend going Ray, Slacker, Starkiller. Try then to dovetail into C. Try to dovetail into C after that. You'll benefit quite a lot from Starkiller. So. Just going to see who's available now for us to raid into. I would have liked to have gone for about another half an hour longer, but this mic cutting out is irking me, and I want to try and fix it. No worries, Jason. No worries, buddy. Alrighty, cool. I'm going to get you guys rated off to somebody in Twitch and on YouTube, hopefully. Hopefully. So thank you all for joining me for today. Rated off to somebody in Twitch and on... Sorry about that. Thank you for supporting me today. And we'll see if we'll go live again tomorrow. I'm not sure on that one. Where are you in the line? Oh, Mischievous Grievous, I don't know, buddy. Oh, you are quite far down. You are 17th. Well, not that far down, actually. 17th. And we were on 7th, so you would have been at about 10 more. All right. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Let's find out where we're going, everybody. Where are we going? I'm going to send you over to Jig. I'm going to send you all over to Jig. Good night, everybody. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Have a nice week. And be kind to each other. Big love, y'all. Big love.